watching the One Piece anime, it happened to be we all watched it like at the same time to like Ennis Lobby, and then we watched it to Marineford, and then after that, and then I think once we got to Fishman Island, I quit the anime. I hated
Fishman
it.
Island.
Yeah, I hated it. I hate the pacing. I hate the still frames. I hate the running around nonstop. I hated Sanji's blood loss gag. I hated all of it. So I dropped One Piece, and then they stopped watching, and then they kept reading because they felt the same way. So as they kept reading, they kept saying like, "Yo, this crazy thing happened. This happened. This happened. This happened." I'm like, "All right, bet. Let me jump back into it." So I jumped back into it after taking like a year off, and then I got up to Whole Cake. And I hated Whole Cake's pacing so much, I quit One Piece again. Like, I did not read the manga. I didn't watch the anime. Bro, I was so I went through Dressrosa. And then I got to Whole Cake, and I was like, yo, I hate this, bro.
Oof.
Anime so I was like, yo, yeah, bro. And yo, Dressrosa's pacing in the anime is terrible. Yeah. So overall, me and the boys after Whole Cake, we just stopped watching in total. And we only read it. So anytime there is like a fire episode, we like if the chat or like the fans go, yo, can you guys react to this one? We'd be like, all right, we do it this one time. Okay. And then we do it and then we have a good time. So that's how we operate on that now.
That's totally fine. I totally get it too from a pacing standpoint. You know, they just drag it on a little bit too much because unfortunately that's just what it is with weekly anime. But the only time I ever tune into an episode is when there are moments that I just want and know that the animators now are going to expand on and develop a little bit more. Mm-hmm. You know, like for instance, today's episode with Kizaru versus Luffy.
I heard good things.
It's good. It's good. I liked it a lot.
Niggas is calling it over animated.
Oh my god! So first of all, they complained last week that it's under animated, and now they're complaining this week that it's over animated. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. You just can't make anybody happy.
Nobody's ever satisfied, bro. Especially the anime community, bro.
They
be asking for too much, bro.
Bro, it's hard when you like are in like the trenches like this, and you're like, man, you guys should just be happy it's not like Dressrosa anymore.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
well, the thing is too, I think there's too many critiques. You got to start enjoying something, bro. Like Solo Leveling, yo, just enjoy it, bro. It don't need to be One Piece storytelling deep. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy it for what it is, bro.
Right, but like the overglaze is unnecessary.
You think that the fact that it was overrated is what got you to dislike it more?
Well, no, I enjoy it, bro. I enjoy Solo Leveling. I have fun every episode. Like, I'm not watching it like, girl, like this ain't my goat Oda. I'm like, I watch it and then like, unfortunately, I go on the internet. My algorithm feeds me the nonsense because I feel like I gotta kind of be in the know for the nonsense for the podcast. And I'm like, okay, can y'all relax? Can we act like Made in Abyss exists? Can we act like Code Geass exists? Can we act like all these other better stories exist?
But it's these new anime fans that they don't know none of that. They just follow like whatever is on their Instagram or For You page that they see a cool clip and they're like, "Yo, I need to see what's going on behind that."
The word aura farmer single-handedly, I think, ruined the anime community. It's single-handedly, I think.
I'll tell you this though, bro. I got a theory about Solo Leveling because I haven't read the manhwa.
Yeah, I don't read it. Danny read it.
I've watched the anime up to episode 35, and I'll tell you this, yo, bro, it might have Attack on Titan levels of like storytelling, bro.
Okay, I'm serious, bro. I need you to like.
I can't. Hold on. So I can't say it right now. What I will say is, we're gonna do an episode tomorrow, right?
All right.
And then next week we have an episode, but it's break week.
Yeah.
So I got a theory I'm crafting up right now about how Solo Leveling might have Attack on Titan level type of story. And we just don't know it. We just don't know it yet. But for me, I might be completely wrong because I don't read the manhwa and it's already completed. So, but the thing is, for all the anime watchers, you might look at what I'm about to say and be like, yo, maybe we had this all wrong, dog. Yeah. Like,
I mean,
I can't wait.
The floor is yours. Cook.
I can't wait, bro.
No, he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait.
I gotta wait because you know it's gonna be better because I'm gonna put like little montage of videos together with proof.
I love it.
And then you're gonna be like, oh, no, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice this. oh, this is fire. Oh, nah,
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
heads in this direction, it's gonna be dope. And then you're always gonna have the people that read the manga and be like, maybe it should have went that way, but it didn't, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all about to probably make the most
Watch, bro.
interesting solo leveling
Watch,
on
bro.
the internet.
I'm not.
Yo, solo leveling is heat, bro. It's the closest thing
Yeah.
to One Punch Man that we got right now. And One Punch
Listen, I'm
Man,
not.
I love more than One Piece, bro. I'm
not
keep
gonna
it a buck.
say you're right or wrong.
Oh.
I'm gonna just say that solo leveling is the Fast and Furious of it.
No, it's
I don't know how you feel
No,
about
it's
the Fast
not,
and
bro.
Furious.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna
bro.
tell you, and I've been saying this ever since the anime got
No, it's not.
announced.
That's so disrespectful.
I've been saying it since it's been announced.
You're in your
You just
bag right
lock
now, bro.
in, you lock in, and you have a good time. All right, don't
It's a good time.
don't look for more. What is that saying where like don't look for like a mythical or paranormal reason if it's just like just a regular shit that's going on?
Mhm.
Like don't just have fun with it. When I go to see movies like Pacific Rim or a Godzilla movie or like Fast and Furious.
Well, no, that last Godzilla movie was fire.
Are you talking about -1?
-1 was fire. That was deep.
Yeah. It was deep. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It didn't get me to cry. But speaking of movies, though, you guys see Sinners?
I did see Sinners. Me and Sebastian
Oh.
saw Sinners. I don't think the twins could watch Sinners because they're kind of religious.
Mm.
So I saw Sinners. What did y'all rate it? 1 through 10. 1 through 10.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
8? Okay. You, Danny?
All right. So before Danny speaks, I'm gonna need you to know, Larry. Danny is our resident hater.
I'm the
Okay.
Simon Cowell, supposedly.
Like
I don't believe it.
he is our resident hater. So you may
He's like half vampire, so he got offended. He's like, yo, why they talking about my people like that? They misrepresenting us, bro. What?
because I don't know what he about to say. So I don't. So that's why I'm like, yo, before he say anything, please, I need you to know.
Okay.
And it's
Are
funny
you
'cause
part
Corey-
Irish? Are you
No.
part Irish at all? Okay.
No,
All
not at
right.
all.
Just need to get
I
those
don't-
factors out of the way.
Wait,
Not vampire,
Hungarian, Italian.
not vampire, not Irish.
It's hard when so many people are praising this movie, so it's hard to like manage your expectations when you go in. And
Mhm.
Corey even texted me as soon as he finished watching. He's like, yo, bro, please, I know you. Set your expectations, man. Okay, please.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
I just finished watching it 2 hours ago, bro. I literally got out of the movie theater like
Fresh.
6:30, right?
Fresh.
I'm gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
What?
No,
Okay.
Hold on, no.
Out of
No,
10.
you showing off. You showing
For
off
the
in front of
people.
gas. He's showing
He
off
for the
in front of
people.
gas.
He for the people,
Corey,
bro.
What?
I cannot ask any more of this movie than what it gave me. Even to the people who like said it wasn't a horror movie, I disagree. To the people who told me this was kind of like a musical, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I went into this movie expecting a 7 out of 10.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, from what I got from the movie, and I'm not saying I know every little like detail, every little bit of symbolism or anything like that. And I just went in and my expectations were surpassed. It made me cry. The ending made me cry.
Yo, I don't even know
Okay.
who this nigga is anymore, bro.
Listen,
I
I'm
am
just
lo-
surprised.
I am lost. Like
I am
I'm-
taken aback, sir. I
He is-
clutched my
Yo,
pearls
even
at the end of the movie.
Shade is in the chat talking about Danny is a different person today. They don't. I don't know who you are.
Listen, bro. He found something he likes, bro.
I found God in
Let
that
him
movie.
rock. Found his calling, bro.
Wow. All right, Larry,
Yeah,
what did you
man.
think, bro?
I felt like there was more to be desired, to be honest. It might sound crazy that I'm about to say this, so don't clip me. I needed some more racism. All right. There wasn't enough racism in the movie, bro. All right.
Okay.
There was a lot of cotton fields. I understood that. There was a lot, but there wasn't enough white people being a little evil, bro. All right. I got a white mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm part white. I'm black and white. All right. But I needed some racism, bro. I need to feel disrespected. And I wasn't disrespected too much. I really wasn't.
I mean, when bro hit that little Irish jig,
Yo, I thought that was.
I
I'm
thought
gonna be
that was
honest.
fire. I'm not gonna lie. I was like,
He killed it.
he killed that.
But it was so unnecessary. I was like, yo, why is this happening right now, bro? And why is everybody vibing out to it? And why am I vibing out to it?
Yo,
You about to get up from your seat.
Yo, because that's what black people be doing. We be like, you know what? Hell yeah.
Yeah, but then they had the Asian dude, and then they had, Haley. They was out here vibing too. And I was like, bro, I don't get the messaging. But then I realized because Irish people suffered sort of the same way as Black people, it was like a connection where this dude wasn't really racist. He was just a vampire trying to do his own thing.
Yeah.
And the movie tried to make you think he was racist, but he never really did anything racist either.
Yeah.
But it was like he knew the struggles of Black people. And yet he conformed to doing what he had to do because that's who he was.
The vampire metaphor in it is like, we're talking about the movie Sinners in case anybody's just now joining, right? Sorry. I know this is a One Piece stream, but we are just, quickly yapping. This is what we like to do here. We go off topic. The amount of like racial metaphors in this is like you gotta like go through like a history lesson, watch like a new Rockstars video or a Screen Crush video to like really probably get every single detail. Cause like even if you go in as educated as you think you are, you still might miss something, right?
Yeah.
Like the vampires being like the metaphor for like assimilation in itself, right? Like, hey, just join the group, just be part of it, like, and everything will be fine. Like, we'll be happy. We can forget all our struggles. And it's like the idea of wanting to keep your identity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, instead of like trying to like, join in that whole idea of it all. And then you have like kind of the Asian characters there as well, kind of showing that dichotomy with like you from Jersey, right? Yeah. So basically you understand kind of like corner stores, like the whole like Chinese restaurants. You understand like that whole assimilation within like how connected. Like, listen, Rush Hour will always be a classic, and it's a classic for a reason.
Yo, Rush Hour is funny, bro.
Praising Rush
It's
Hour.
so out of date, but it's
I
funny, bro.
I will praise Rush Hour 2 till I die. It's Rush Hour 2 and then Shrek 2.
Yeah, it's all about the Mushu, bro.
It's all about
It's
the
all about the
Mushu,
Mushu.
see? He know ball.
And speaking of Mushu, their cousin was a straight muncher, bro. He like
Yo, that
gives
girl
it?
was like,
Bro,
sir,
listen,
I
he
walked
survived
here.
though. Only the
Who
munchies
does-
survived. Only the
Who
munchies
eating it on
survived.
first date, bro?
Bro
I-
bro
Who
said-
eating it in that Louisiana heat, that Mississippi heat?
She
Bro.
said,
She
I'm
was
not-
like, "Yo,
I'm
I
not
got some
fresh."
Cajun."
I'm not fresh. He said,
It's like,
"I need
it's
some-
okay. I just want to
listen,
taste.
I'm here for the Old Bay, baby. Give me
Bro,
that sazon.
Old Bay.
Bro,
Give me the sazon.
Yo, bro, I looked at him and I was like, see, he set us back like for another.
Nah,
400
bro,
years.
he did it for the
No.
love of
Nah,
the
bro.
game. He did
Nah,
it for the love of
bro.
the game, bro.
He's the same dude that
Yo.
be paying for OnlyFans, bro.
Niggas ain't doing it for the love of the
And-
game
nah,
no more.
bro. I couldn't respect him, bro.
Nah,
He was
man,
like, yo,
man's-
legitimately,
he's a
R.
kid.
Kelly, bro. He was like, yo, I'm a great musician, but I'm on some freakish. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, why is he doing this?
Bro
I
saw an
hated it, bro.
opportunity. He took the shot. that was
Nah,
a married
bro.
woman. And he's
Nah,
like, it's
bro.
okay.
He shot that he wasn't even like qualified to even be playing ball with her.
Bro, I guarantee you, he ain't even want nothing back.
Nothing back from what?
I mean, I believe that.
Nah, bro, that's crazy. And
Yo,
she was somebody's wife.
Yo,
he was
when
like, nah, you
when she
you
ain't
ain't
want
gotta
to
give
eat
me
that
nothing
garlic,
back.
bro, I said, yo, can we kill her? Yo, spoiler, sorry guys.
Bro, listen, bro. I was so disappointed in the male species at that moment. I said, yo, want better, bro. At least be a little more selfish about yourself. You ain't selfish
Nah, bro.
enough.
Back in the day, you get what you get and you don't get upset. All right. You listen, he saw something, his heart fluttered, bro. He followed his heart there, and I can't blame him for that.
She was a baddie.
And you know what? I'm glad he did it because look at how that night ended up. He could have easily died that night.
Bro had the best night of his life.
He should have, bro.
So 40 years later, he was still like, yeah.
If anybody
free
was to
that
turn
night.
into a vampire and start eating something, it would be him, right? So
Facts. Facts.
like come on, bro.
The number one eater. Ain't nothing wrong. The number
Right?
one eater.
You got me there. You got me
You
Would
know
there.
what I'm saying?
So would you guys like want to see more movies, I guess, kind of in this universe or nah?
It's hard to say, you know, because I understand that they're talking about making this into like a little franchise kind of thing. I don't think it would be as powerful as this first movie was. But listen, I'm a shonen trash monster, baby. I'll take it. That's a bit of me. All right, you make a sequel, throw Michael B. Jordan in there.
He said, "Give me Michael B. Jordan shooting machine guns, and I'm here."
Yeah, man, I'm there.
Listen, bro. I don't know. Overall, I think the movie was like an 8. I think there
Okay,
was
so
so
we
much
was-
left to be desired.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
do scary movies, so I thought the movie would be scarier.
No, Nah, it didn't need to be. Vampire movies be vampire movies, bro.
I
Like,
don't.
The tension and the suspense were there.
yeah, it's cool. I just thought that it was a little bit, I thought that we should have spent a little bit more time with Stacks and Smoke. Maybe we should have had like more time with them. I felt like we had time with them, but it was only time with building up their moment. Of creating this freedom for a couple of hours. And I would have really liked to see like what happened with their dad instead of being told.
Yeah,
I felt like if we would have got a little bit more backstory,
that's
like,
the One Piece fan of you. You wanted the back. You wanted the bro.
Yeah.
Bro wanted. He wanted the.
He wants the lore.
Listen, bro. Listen. We had a full blown Doflamingo moment with our boy Smoke, right? Like he legit murked his dad. Like that's Corazon and Doflamingo right there. He killed Homing, bro. But the thing is, Homing in his life was beating the hell out of his younger brother. So I need to see that in order to feel some type of remorse. And I would have liked to see a little bit, not a lot. Yeah, maybe like
just a visual, quick little montage.
Maybe like a minute of them back in Chicago. I think they were in Chicago.
Yeah, it was in Chicago. Yeah,
when they stole whatever money that they stole, I felt like that would have been really cool to see. But I think. I think that was just my issue with it. But
maybe that's the sequels, right? That's the sequels, right? See the prequels, you get to see them in Chicago going crazy.
I think this is a good standalone movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
But I'll give it like an 8. It could be an 8.5 if you dive into some of the things that was hidden. Like the little treasures that were hidden. Like
I think the more
credit scene,
the more you watch, like I think
credits.
Easter eggs and like descriptions of like everything within it, the movie gets better the more you think about it, right?
I'm just glad Kendrick Lamar wasn't in it, bro, or on it. I don't need.
Listen, bro. What you mean?
Leave Kendrick
Kung
off
Fu
of it,
Kenny, bro.
I don't need the fake revolutionary.
Don't be hating on my guy. You want to hear Nokia? Who's calling that fool?
Yo, honestly,
no.
Yo, when they were doing the hold on, when they were doing the musical transitions through the time period, you gotta tell me if Nokia started playing right there, you wasn't.
If Nokia started playing,
you gotta tell me you weren't
baby girl. That's what you, baby girl. He's from Canada.
Yeah, bro.
He's from Canada.
Listen, man, that would have been fire, bro. You would have had the whole Asian chick and the garments dancing to it. She would be crumping. Yeah, man. It was a big miss. Big miss, in my opinion.
Some would say.
Yo, Ryan Coogler, if you're watching this, you should have played Nokia in the montage. You totally you missed the Canadian demographic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, bro. Let it rock, man.
Shout out to Monkey D. Jiraiya for the $1.99 super chat. The Larry tax is real. We heard about the Larry tax.
Oh, don't start that, bro.
Don't
start it, bro.
We heard about the Larry tax. Also, this other username is Wicked Work. Torta Pounder.
Oh, sir.
That's
you know calm what? That's down, a bit Jamal. Calm down. That's Jamal. A bit of Preacher Boy right there.
Yeah, that's Preacher Boy right there. $1.99 super chat. Y'all looking like an Oreo with Larry in the middle. That is Larry is the fusion dance between me and Danny.
Did you just name us something delicious? You a grown man saying we delicious.
Nah, you just called us a snack.
Yeah,
you called us a torta, snack, bro.
Listen,
you just called us a torta.
Listen, bro. Shout out to all my Latina women that weigh a little more than extra. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, we love them all.
Yeah,
crazy work. All right, so I don't know how we got 18 minutes in. I don't know how this happened, but what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another One Piece chapter live reaction, live read through for One Piece chapter 1147. We have a special guest with us. If you guys don't realize already through all the yapping, we have Larry from One Piece Talk, y'all. We don't got horns, but y'all got sound effects. We don't got sound effects like y'all. But yo, thank you, bro. We really appreciate you coming through. We appreciate you taking part of the stream. You could be doing anything else on a Sunday night. You could just be chilling, sleeping, eating. But you came
Sunday scaries.
Listen, man, it's been a calm Sunday, right? It's beautiful weather out here in the East Coast. But before
today, what are you talking about?
What you mean? I thought it was fine, bro. It's hoodie weather.
Yeah, it was a little hoodie today.
What you want to? You want to dress like a little thought?
I don't know, bro. Kinda on my first day off for a
Yeah.
while.
You want
Yeah,
your
man.
Yeah,
your
you
thighs
try-
I wanted
gotta
my
be
I
out.
wanted my,
You trying
one of my
to
legs out.
You try. He was trying.
Yeah,
Listen, man,
man.
I ain't mad at you, bro,
You
for
want
wanting
the
your legs
hoochie
out,
daddy? It's
man.
not hoochie daddy weather yet.
It's always hoochie daddy weather, bro.
I'm
Any type of
In New
weather.
York, it always is.
Y'all both from New York?
Yeah, we
Uh,
both in Brooklyn. He's from Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to y'all, man.
I'm actually a Jersey kid too.
Yeah? Where were
Bergen
you in
County.
Jersey? What city?
Ridgewood, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Ridgewood. Yeah.
Bergen
We
County,
like 10
bro.
minutes over the bridge of New York.
Okay.
Tight.
Yeah,
You over
yeah.
there.
Literally like Clifton area.
I heard that's right
Oh.
there. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
that shit accidentally shows up in my GPS sometimes. If you in
Richmond,
Washington
Clifton,
Heights,
right
then it's too
there.
close. Washington Heights will be like, yeah, you in Clifton.
Yeah, bro. We chilling though, man. Good to see that, we from the same area. So shout out to y'all, man.
We out here.
Tri-State.
Listen,
Appreciate y'all, man.
listen, when you was on the stream earlier talking about them honey buns, I was like, oh, this nigga from the hood. He from the hood. Honey buns. I
Yo,
said
they legit had honey buns on Elbath, bro. That's they got
Oh,
they got
they
delis,
got
bro.
honey buns in Elbath is
They got
crazy,
they got
bro.
they got that now, bro.
Son, honey buns really been stale since 2008. I'm telling you, son. I haven't had a fresh honey bun since then.
No, all right.
But before we start to get into chapter 1147, let's do our honorary glazing session.
Oh my
for
god.
that.
Did
One
y'all learn
Piece
this from
talk.
Joe?
Yeah, actually.
Oh my god, man.
Honestly, yeah. We're students of the game, you know what I mean? We see
Yeah.
what they do. So that One Piece talk, 2021. I looked at your footage. I looked at your tape. How?
Oh, it's
how
terrible.
did that come to? Nah, listen, bro. We all
terrible,
got to
bro.
start. We all start from somewhere, right?
Yeah, we started.
I think you guys started in what? April, June 2020.
I think it was like June 5th, something like
Yeah.
that, 2021.
Yeah. So
First episode.
So how did that come to be as a collective, kind of starting the podcast overall? Because I'm definitely fascinated as somebody who's been influenced, kind of watching you guys and seeing what you guys do and seeing how you guys have come along from episode 1 to what do you guys like episode like 300 now?
201 now.
201. Yeah.
We just did 200, so we're gonna do 201.
congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, man.
So you guys have been at it for a minute now, right? And I would almost kind of consider you guys like the worst generation when it comes to it all, especially being a part of like, there wasn't a lot of people talking about One Piece together on camera. Mad One Piece creators talking about it individually, saying their theories, saying their thoughts, maybe one or two people collabing with each other. So a bunch of guys just like who are big fans of it and may not maybe give like the expert knowledge of like maybe a teching, but you guys are just like kind of like give the vibe of everyday people. So I guess how did that come to be? How did you guys think of it? What did it take, I guess, kind of get into episode 1? Like, explain it to me.
So it was my brothers that are on the pod, Sebastian, Lawrence, and Lionel. They're real brothers, like blood brothers.
Oh.
And yeah, so
y'all all real life related.
Kind of, yeah. I'm like a distant cousin through marriage.
Cousins. Oh, yeah.
Family,
but I've known those guys for like 20 plus years now. And I used to go to their house, and basically they used to have the most hard, rigid, violent like debates regarding One Piece. And it was very much power scaling at that moment, but they were so intelligent in the way they spoke and the way they would bring up facts and random moments that they would just debate so strongly about that I would sit on the couch and I'd be like, oh my God, this is crazy. And this was like 2000 and like probably like 11, 2010.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez, y'all were kids.
Yeah. So I was looking at it like, yo, these guys are just nuts, but they're so entertaining. I can't take my eyes off of them. So I thought to myself, yo, what would it be like if like people saw this? And then the idea just came and went. We never did anything with it. And then I think around like the 2021, I asked them because we were still reading this. We were still watching this. Yeah. We were in Wano. Like Kinemon just got bodied by Kaido, right? And I said to myself, how about we just make this happen? Because we live once. And to be honest, you guys are too great to be putting all this energy into something and nobody appreciates you for it the way I appreciate you. So I ended up taking my chances of using my own money, renting out a podcast studio, because we don't have a studio at home and we don't do it online. So I did that, and we did it for an hour. There was no structure. It was just random thoughts. And I was listening to the One Piece podcast that's been around forever, and I gained a lot of inspiration from them because I also too had opinions that I wanted to state as well. So I said to myself, let's just do this. All three of them said, we're down. I asked them if this is the name you wanted to go with. Is this the intro music? This, and that. And they all agreed, and they basically just let me take the lead. And then through time, we got better and better. Yeah. And then we didn't have our real break until I bought a computer for like 4K or 5K. And I started editing videos. I went into debt for it. I started editing videos, and that's when we started soaring.
Yeah.
So
you do all the editing still, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I don't think we've reached the point yet where like I can hire an editor financially.
Listen, bro, I understand the pain. Listen,
editors are crazy. They knows it's a lot of money.
Danny knows. I'm like, listen, bro. Like, if I just want to get to the point where somebody else can edit this, bro. But y'all be doing that. Listen, whatever y'all got going on over there, because like I understand the technical part a little, because I've taught myself kind of everything as I've gone through. I started my like personal YouTube channel in like September of 2021. So a little bit after you guys started your podcast. And I was going through I'm about to be 30, midlife crisis. I need a hobby. I need something I love doing. So like everything I've been learning is just like on the go. I don't consider myself naturally creative or talented in it. I'm just trying my best to make it presentable. But I also am a student of the game when it comes to YouTube. Like I watch so many people's content that I'm like, okay, I like what this person does. How do I incorporate this and incorporate that? And you guys getting to the point of like being live and alternating cameras and having like the chat. I'm over here like, no, this nigga is Professor Xavier. Because how? Because I'm over here like, how? Because I know.
Is that a ball reference?
Listen, bro. I understand.
I'm bald, bro.
Yo, niggas don't know. Like, they don't think about like the back end of how it all goes. But I understand. Like, you really must be putting your everything in regards to like the production of it all. Like, I'm pretty sure in your head you probably think it could be so much better. But I want you to at least understand that I recognize you cooking, bro. Man. You cook.
Thank you, bro. We rent out a studio, and we have this producer who owns the studio, and he personally does the cameras and sound effects and all that stuff for us. Yeah. So we pay that dude, and he's Marv. He's a good friend now. He's been one for a minute now. So, yeah, man. When it comes time, though, when it does come time, and we might eventually stop doing the studio. Because it's bread every month. I feel
you. Yeah,
man. And even though we put that under the business for taxes purposes, it doesn't completely eliminate owing taxes at the end of it.
Yeah,
so, the money that we spend being in our pockets, I could give out to the boys.
Give out to the boys, yeah.
Yeah, because I would rather give it to them than to give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah, because we kind of ran into something a little similar. Like I was lucky enough in the early days of because we do our live streams, but we have our like official episodes that we do in person with all three of us. And I used to get like the studio for free from my older brother, but then like, the economy, the United States, things happen. So I had to kind of figure out like, okay, how do I quickly flex in regards to teaching myself now the AV part of everything? Like, okay, what can I buy? What mics do I need to buy to do it? So now we just do everything in my crib.
Oh, perfect. Listen, bro, I you can't see it, but this is like all the stuff I'm buying now, so we can do it in my crib.
See,
dude, same wavelength,
bro. And all that, bro. That was like 6K.
Oh,
6K, close to 7.
Listen, I'm Danny. I'm sorry I don't got a bigger check for you, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro, yo, I'm just happy to be here.
But I'll be honest with you. That was also me going down the drain. Yeah. And the one thing you got to realize is like, if you feel like you got it and you know you have it, take a chance on yourself.
Do it.
Because at the end of the day, that's only gonna be deficit for like a couple months.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna make it more than well back, bro.
Yeah. Like
So
it's either you make
already
it
been
back.
proven.
Like I see like it's you either make it back, but even still, like in the corniest sense, in the most anime One Piece word of it all, like the experience of doing it all has paid out dividends. You know what I mean? There, and for us, we're like, wow, the fact that one person even listens to us yapping and enjoys it. I'm like, that's more than I would have thought when I was just like trying to text my friends who was like, I'm not talking about One Piece with you, bro. I'm good. You know what I mean?
That's the beauty of it though, man. So I would say, take the chance, man. Whatever you gotta take a chance on, take it. Don't ever say to yourself, yeah, this is too much.
Even the way you guys jumped into it, I'm like fascinated because I'm like, I realized that like I didn't have like the logo and all that till like episode 3, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys went with like the classic hip hop feel, looking like making it look like a vinyl record and things like that. I'm like, you figuring it out as you go. He's like, we just gotta get episode 1 out.
Yeah, just do it, even if it's not completed. Because
it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, bro. You're gonna get that in due time.
Yeah.
Like, and even your characters, like the way you guys are now, are not gonna be how you are later. Like before, I was a complainer, bro. I used to complain about One Piece nonstop. Yeah, man. I used to be negative all the time, and then I realized that negativity doesn't serve me, but it also doesn't serve my brothers.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was switching my style, and once I switched my style and understood what gravitated people, then I started to realize, oh no, this is the way I'm supposed to go about it. And then after that, you have nothing to do but get better. So
there's always still more shit to learn, right? There's always still more shit to learn. Like you go back and probably look at like Danny. I don't know if you've ever looked back at episode 1.
Absolutely, yeah. It hurts sometimes to see but it's also great to see like how far we've come and developed our dynamic and chemistry and just the way we talk as well. You know, I feel like we know, more like the subtle things that you pick up when talking to people, like when to
like
cut
I
in,
know how to
not
push your
cut in.
buttons now.
I
know how to be like, you know what? I need Danny to dial it up a little bit. Right?
You know what it is, bro? Because me and my dog, my best friend Sebastian on the pod happens to be like real life best friend. Like they're all 4 of them all 3 of them are my best friends. But it's like specifically him, we chill the most, bruh. This person makes me more angry than anybody in my life, bro. And he knows how to do it because he understands my personality probably better than anybody that I know. And I hate him, bro. And I'll say it now, bro. I love him, but like, bro, bro. I'll be like, I was like, man, that's my dog though, bro. But you eventually start noticing like the chemistry works and it makes it fun.
Yeah.
So listen, man, whatever you're doing, just do it. Seriously,
learn as you
just
go.
do it.
Learn as you go.
So, and it's nice because there's a lot of anime podcasts out there that show up quick and they end quick.
Yeah.
And it's usually because people learn that they don't really mesh with the other people that's with them. So I'm so fortunate in my life that I found people that I've been friends with for 20 plus years that we can talk about anything, and we'll never get to a point where we're like gonna start spazzing on each other, like straight up fist fighting. Like it be looking like we're about to, but we'll never get to that point.
Y'all know each other.
Yeah, it's like we'll never get to. We got too much love for one another, so we'll never get to that point. But it does add like a sort of flair that people are like, yo,
they good.
Just got up out of his chair.
They good. These niggas looking like the Joe Budden podcast over there. They all right?
No, because our producer Marv used to think that we would always about to be banging out like every other episode. It was so funny.
You got to stay ready just in case.
That's so funny because like their dynamic is so like for us like like before this the podcast I didn't know Danny and Kimmy like that, so we've been getting to know each other from episode 1 and forward. Nice. So like my thing is that when I thought of it, I was like, okay, I don't really have as much fun making YouTube content without having other people talk about it with. And I realized like, okay, like some corny Luffy shit. I was like, I don't think I could do this by myself. I need to like, I need to like assemble some people, right? But I knew my close friends. I was kind of scared to like enter maybe a business type dynamic with my close friends, like the ones I've been like my whole life. I'm like, I don't know if I want to go there with them. But I only knew Danny from walking our dogs in our neighborhood. Like
Just running into each
Mm,
other.
for all the dogs.
Like I met his dog. My dog, I have a Shiba Inu named Vegeta. She's a girl. He has a corgi.
Wait, her name is Vegeta?
Listen, bro. Listen,
Yeah,
Vegeta.
man.
Okay.
Vegeta knows no
neutral.
gender.
Okay.
That's Princess Vegeta right there. That's my
A strong liberal. I
That's
Princess
got
of
you.
all Saiyans.
that's my queen. So and I met Danny walking like our dogs in our neighborhood, right? So I only ran to him a couple times, and we would have conversations.
Was it like
about
your
anime
dog
and
started
manga.
fighting?
No.
chill.
It was just like, oh, your dog's cute. What's the name? Oh, it's an anime name. What about your dog? Oh, it's an anime name. Oh, cool. And
That's
then
very
it's just-
romantic, bro.
So
That's very romantic.
I think
bro.
that's what people call a meet cute.
Yeah,
Stop
bro.
crying.
Yeah, I met on Hinge, bro.
Nah,
Y'all were just looking
yo,
for friends.
I went
bro.
on Hinge looking for
Yeah.
podcast co-hosts.
You were like, yo, man, I'm looking for friends only.
I'm crying.
okay.
Friends
Yeah,
only mode.
Let me get on that Bumble BFF.
Bumble BFF is wicked work, boy. And then me and Kimmy, we went to college together, but me and Kimmy's age is like when she was a freshman, I was a senior. So we had like
okay.
mutual friends, but we ain't know each other. But I always followed her, and I was like, all right, you know what? One, I don't want to go through this with just like dudes. I was like, I might need a girl like mindset and like to kind of viewpoint all of it. And I was like, I have somehow been able to talk to this dude every time I run into him in the street with our dogs real quick. We talk for like 3 or 4 minutes, and then we go on about our day. And I was like, I'm gonna take a gamble and see how it goes, right? And luckily they've trusted my vision. Like I like kind of like the layout and everything like that of how we go about it roadmap wise. So it's so interesting to kind of hear like different perspective of how to go about it. Cause I feel like for anybody out there, if you're like watching us, sorry, we're still not into the chapter yet.
What's that?
If you're looking to create something with your friends or create something by yourself, there is no exact way to go about it or perfect way to go about it. But just try to do it. You know what I mean? If you want to do it.
Listen, bro. That story means y'all gotta start barking on podcasts sometimes, bro. That's all I'm hearing, bro. Like, just start barking, bro.
we don't got that dog in us.
Going, bro.
Listen, you'll hear my guy bark.
Listen, your dog.
Like, have like a barking roll call where like people are just donating nonstop subs to you, and then you're like, start barking, bro.
The funny thing about it is that because I'm still getting to know Kimmy and Danny still, even though we've been doing it for 2 years now, I don't know everything about them. When we genuinely don't know something on the podcast about somebody, it shows. We're like, okay. They're like, oh, like they don't know. They didn't know I never saw holes. They're like, you never saw holes. And like,
it's crazy.
That's wild.
You still haven't seen it.
Valid.
I just don't feel a need to watch it, bro. I know the reference.
Still holds up.
That's too damn bad. I like the reference. I like the joke.
I can fix that. Do you know that?
No, I don't know what that is.
There you go. See?
What you want from me, bro? But thank you again, though. Let's read a couple super chats before we start to get to the chapter. If anybody's reading along with us, we will be reading through the Viz official translation as
TCB.
usual. No TCB. Because
actually, that's a good question.
Oh my God! Listen, bro. You want to bring this back up? I'm trying to do the house cleaning. I'm trying to house clean.
Later. We'll do it later.
You know what? Just for corporation purposes, we love Viz, and Viz is the only way we read our manga. You want to read One Piece? Go to viz.com/shonen-jump.
Trying to do the house cleaning, and Danny's over here trying to still yap.
Yeah, Moon Piece only represents them and only them. So.
Only them, guys.
Yeah.
Viz, please pay us.
Shout out to Viz, yo.
Shout out to Viz, yo. But I'm gonna read a couple of super chats before we start to get in through. Lance Schultz, $2 super chat. Thank you. Oreos are nice, but where my grilled cheese at?
Wait, grilled cheese goes a long way, man.
Is that a reference? Is that an inside joke?
Listen, bro. Whatever you start hearing from these guys during these super chats, just know it ain't my fault. It's Sebastian's fault. Whatever it may be, bro.
The comedian.
Right? Yeah, bro.
You want no accountability.
I have no accountability for that.
He said, bro, I don't even go here.
Nah, bro.
I don't even go here. Oh, that One Piece talk. Who did that? You being sneaky, bro? 1999 super chat. We love Moon Piece. Everyone W's in the chat. This nigga low
W's in a shot.
Bro was out here yapping it up and just
you slick with it, man.
Multitasking, bro.
Sneaky. So, Seb, I see you in the chat. $5 super chat. Crazy, I ain't getting invited. No. Would Batman catch Kira before Light writes Bruce
that's what
Wayne's
he
name
asked?
in the death note.
Y'all better.
You guys talked about
I mean,
this?
listen. I don't think so because let's not act like Batman is a psychic, bro. If bro was just in his room, how is he? Batman has never caught even Joker before he done stuff. You think you gonna catch him?
He's caught Joker like a million times.
Bro,
but
Joker,
not before he's like
Joker always catches him slipping. What do you
You
mean?
know, people got hit with Joker venom. A lot of people got hit with Joker venom before
like
he
Batman has never showed up to the scene of the crime before the crime happened.
Talk to Jason Todd about that shit.
You do know that
Yeah, Jason Todd will stop it.
L caught Light in like 2 weeks.
You know how many people died before those 2 weeks?
I'm pretty sure Batman, who deals with people who can like possess people's souls and all that stuff, would consider, yo, maybe this Death Note or whatever this person's using happens to be mystical of some kind.
Also,
and Batman would just find out.
Light would have pieced together that Bruce Wayne as Batman is so fast because like it ain't that good of a secret.
Listen, Light was a small fish. I mean, a big fish in a small pond, bro. All right. He only knew Japan.
Small pond. What's the?
He only knew Japan. He was
murking people.
Japan brought people from overseas to help.
Yo, they had to, right? But then he never crossed internationally to start murking people until a certain point in the story. But before that, he was just murking people in Japan,
bro. But he was killing people all over the world. That's why other countries were afraid to get involved. Especially once the cult of Kira started coming into the mix and started calling people out.
Because he only started watching the Japanese news and they would talk about Japanese things.
That's like season 1, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He would have got caught in like 3 days.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
That was Batman, bro.
Batman would have got
deal with Superman.
Batman would have got caught
basis.
too, bro. If anything, he would have brought Batman to his side.
But that's only if Light knew that Batman was after him. But let's be honest, Batman's part of the Justice League. You don't think that any of those guys wouldn't have been able to figure out that Light was Kira?
No.
Light probably, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Probably fucking Martian Manhunter over here is probably fucking figuring
just
this shit
light a match and Martian Manhunter don't know what to do.
Okay, bro. It's disrespectful, bro. I don't know how y'all look at Batman this way, bro. Batman got more than white privilege, bro.
I don't know, man. You gotta.
He do, bro.
You gotta have to prove that in the Batman. That's all he got.
Listen, bro.
Girthquake $4.99 super chat. Thanks. Girthquake is wicked. What?
Yo,
what is going on over there, bro? Can you what's going on over there, bro?
Yo, listen, man.
What type of
the Grand Fleet is pretty strong, bro.
He said, "Yeah, that's this the Cavendish, right? This the Cavendish of the Grand Fleet." Thanks for dropping 5 gifted in Larry stream. Here's some Larry tax back. Also, who y'all got and what diff? Kid versus Sorrow, Kid versus Law, and Kid versus Cat.
See,
you were talking to a resident Kid hater because I'm taking Kid losing in all 3 matches.
Yeah,
who was the 3? It was Zoro,
Law, and Cat.
Katakuri, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he loses all 3.
Not Carl Anthony Towns.
How about you, Danny?
No, 100%. Zoro washes him. Law, easy. Katakuri, it's not even a competition. Come on.
Now, the only problem Zoro might have is the magnetism will take his swords.
Unless he uses hockey, which would probably prevent
the
magnetism.
Thank you.
You think Enma's going to go over to that bum? He could be part of the arm?
I'm glad you understand hockey, bro.
That's disrespectful.
Nerd Taku, $5 super chat. Had to drop it and show love to these goats. Knew when I met Moon Piece at Anime NYC, they link with the best One Piece pod around. Much love, Larry Tax.
Oh my God, Taku, come on, bro.
Man,
Yo,
thank you, bro.
Appreciate
Larry
it.
Tax is real. That hashtag from before,
bro. It's almost as crazy as the Shonen Showdown in the sweatshop.
Listen, bro. Just know, IRS. This is not. I'm not collecting any of this. Like I gotta each episode. I feel like I gotta say it, bro, just in case IRS come around.
Yo,
and be like,
you know they watching.
Listen, man.
Don't
we have documents
guys,
here.
make sure you guys are paying your taxes this year and next.
Well, it's too late now, right?
No. Just listen. At the end of the year, don't think that y'all can, as an adult in the room, make sure y'all don't think y'all can just not pay y'all taxes this year. I know this year is crazy. But my last serious moment. Lucky Rue, $5 super chat. Who do y'all think has the hardest goal in One Piece? I say Dragon for the sheer number and strength of people that have to go down. Hashtag Larry Tax. Yo, you really gonna have to call the IRS.
Dragon's goal isn't like the world government being hard to take down. It's just him doing anything. Like the dude just.
We just got the wrong guy in charge.
Yeah, he just doesn't do anything, bro. Like he don't even got a reason to be in the story no more because Sabo took over his story.
That is extremely valid.
Wouldn't it be Chopper who would have like the hardest goal? Because he's trying to cure all the sickness in the world, and that's just like not realistic.
Yeah, Chopper's wilding.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Nami's is also pretty hard. Like,
nah, that's pretty
in the
easy,
beginning,
bro.
No, bro. In the beginning, it's
we got
cute.
a map
it's
now.
Like, oh, she wants to do a world map. I love that for her. But like, now that we're in the new world, we're like, yo, she'd have to be a giant to have the lifespan it would take to document the One Piece world.
I don't know, man.
I'm sorry.
I'll keep it a buck, bro. Sebastian said this before. It's Tashigi, bro.
Being the strongest sword?
No. Collecting all the
she
swords.
Has to collect all the swords.
yeah, she's wilding.
She's not doing that, bro.
Yeah, she's wild. Like nobody's about to be like, you know what? Like Mihawk's gonna be like, here you go. You can have my pink sword.
You're right. Is a Whitebeard thing?
I have a theory about Tashigi coming out soon.
Oh,
bro, I'm a tune the fuck
yeah, bro. Yeah, it is. I feel like it's gonna be a banger because it caught a little wind on one of these comments that I made on one of our videos. But I got a way where like she may be the one to beat Mihawk, bro.
Tashigi?
Yeah.
What, she can't fight? He can't fight women either?
I'm not gonna say nothing right now. I'm gonna just leave you with that. I'm gonna leave you with the nah. You're wild.
That's
I really might have a valid way of saying she might be him, bro.
So you don't need to expand on that anymore. The only answer I need from you is you believe that the matchup exists?
Yeah.
Say less.
I do.
I'm gonna lock in, bro. Notification bell is on.
Yeah, bro. It's gonna be. I'm gonna do that the same week. I'm gonna do the solo leveling theory. I'm gonna do both of them at the same time.
Oh, he cooking.
It's gonna be a
busy
week, bro.
Cooking with corn oil, not olive oil.
I'm gonna get so much hate in the comments. Watch, it's gonna be so funny.
What do you think Tashigi would be a Weehawk?
PSCU in the chat, $4.99. Mr. Music Major himself. Hey, love to see two of the greatest anime podcast collab. Hashtag this is good talk. My guy P.
Bro, that's $49.99. Not $4.99.
What I said $4.99 by accident?
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. Preston, bro. You know what it is? It was the Larry tax. It brought it down.
Oh my god. I love Larry tax.
I
love Joe. Those are my guys, man.
Nah,
thank you, bro.
If there's two people that know how to piss Joe off, it's me and P.
Yeah.
At one time, boy. I didn't even know Joe felt so strongly about Hunter x Hunter. I was like, oh, I didn't know this was your shit, bro. Didn't know this was your king.
I'll tell you this, that Chimera ant arc is top 3 all time of arcs.
Of what arcs?
Of anime.
Oh, Corey.
What anime? In what year? In a specific year?
Of all time. Like, in my opinion, that Chimera ant arc was crazy, dog.
I'll probably give you top 10.
I'm not saying all the other arcs hit, but I'm saying that Chimera ant arc.
York New is the best arc in that series.
York
Kurapika going crazy?
Listen, York New was cool, but like it was short too.
It was all right.
They explore more themes in the Chimera ant arc. You can't give it to York New.
I think York New is better than Chimera Ant, bro.
This is
personal preference, bro.
This is telling me a lot about you, bro. I'm gonna let you know, bro.
Listen, I had a lot
That's
of
a bad take, bro.
I don't even like Hunter x Hunter like that.
That is not a bad.
That's a bad take, bro.
That is Chimera Ant is so overrated for no reason. I had more fun in Greed Island.
What? No, Corey.
I had more fun in Greed Island.
No, stop. You're playing. You're playing games
way
right
more
now,
fun in Greed Island. At least they had Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right, Danny? You love Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Get the fuck out of my face, bro. All right, that wasn't no TCG, bro.
That was a TCG, bro.
This is bad takes, bro.
Martin Luther Jimbe 199 Super Tech. Seb, don't ever show up to Fishman Island ever.
Yo, the Martin Luther Jimbe.
Yo, y'all might have some of the best names I've seen in YouTube ever because that One Piece Grand Fleet is crazy.
Yo, bro.
I
It's
love
so
that. I've
funny.
heard that before, but to see it on an actual profile,
I'm just
is,
I'm
like,
waiting to see
iconic.
where's the mountain eater. I'm waiting to find the mountain eater
Where's the
himself.
mountain?
Yo, they're too funny, bro. I love our fans, bro. They're so funny. Like they're legit comedy, bro.
I'm crying. These names are creative as hell. Ellie, see, I'm gonna say this wrong. Ellie Daggerate, 199
That's pretty
super
good.
chat. Slaving away because ain't got nothing better to do. Damn.
Yo, stop, bro. They don't need to know all these things, man.
Damn, bro. They giving out the lore. That One Piece lore over here. But
yeah.
We've caught up on the super chat. Shout out for everybody who's came through. We are 50 minutes in. I don't know how this happened. This has never happened. So
No,
you
it's
broke
a
a record.
Sunday
You broke a yapping record, bro.
I am a yapper though, bro. I'll be
Listen.
yapping, bro.
Listen, we're happy to hear it, bro.
Yeah, man. I'll be yapping too much.
So we're gonna get into chapter 1147. Finally, we usually take turns going through the. Danny, you want to take us off and then do the cover page in the first 2 pages, and then what we'll do is how Viz keeps it is like, you know how they have 2 pages at one time on one screen. We do 2 pages at a time, and then we kind of alternate around, say our jokes, say our thoughts, give our theories or things like that as we go through the chapter. Have fun with it. Do your best voice acting. Listen, the floor is yours, right? So, Danny, you go first. Larry, you can go after Danny, and then I'll go after Larry, and then we'll
And we do 2
take
pages
it
each.
Yep,
Yeah.
2 pages each.
Okay, got you.
But
Right,
Danny in the
starting
beginning
off-
will look like he's doing 3 pages because he's doing the cover story and the first 2.
Got you.
One Piece, chapter 1147, titled What We Are Afraid of. Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, volume 32, believe it or not, thanked by Raizo, daimyo of Udon. And here we're seeing Yamato chowing down on some onigiri that Raizo apparently had the time to make. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I did not need this cover story.
It was.
I'm sorry. Did you see the ball? Like volume 32? What are we doing? No. I'm over this.
Well, now we know Raizo is the daimyo of Udon.
I didn't need that, bro. I didn't need that. You could have put that in an SBS. I don't need that on a cover story. I need to see this woman moving off of Wano. I need to see that ship guy that she just rescued build her a boat so she could go to Elbaf. I'm over this.
It's not over though. You know you got like 15 more volumes.
Yeah. All right. Well, dude, this is just too much. But heading right into the chapter, now we're seeing a little flashback of Saul saying, "Stay hidden, Robin and Chopper. I've seen him before. He's a holy knight." Huh? They're immortal. You can't beat them. Hide and wait for your chance to save the kids. I guess that means there were 2 survivors of O'Hara, says Sommers. The Navy sure did a sloppy job. And then you're hearing some rustling in the hair, and Sommers picks up on that, huh? And then you're seeing Robin and Chopper slowly going down, trying to hide themselves. Sommers turns, "Gunko, you caught the Straw Hat crew then? You gonna take them with us?" And then Killingham turns in, "Don't be stupid, Sommers. Are you trying to make Straw Hat Luffy furious? Let's just fulfill the mission and go home." And then we're seeing the Straw Hat crew all tied up. Usopp, Nami, Jinbei, and Brook. Poor Saul's been tormented and let Colin get kidnapped. How could you let this happen, Jinbei? Stop shouting. I'm trying to come up with a plan, all right? What are these powers anyway? And Usopp's over here saying, "That chick is scary. I thought I was going to die." I feel like there's something about that woman. However, maybe it's just my imagination, says Brook. And over here, boom, pointing in his face is Gunko. Yeah, it's her, the zombie girl, as Gunko points an arrow straight at Brook. And that is the first 2 pages.
Yeah. Right. So what do you guys do? Do you guys just read it, or do you talk about?
No, we talk about it once we're done reading like the person, we talk about it as we go. So how are we feeling about these first 2 pages? What you guys get from this?
There's so many like little speculations without any real evidence, and I think it makes it interesting, but it also makes it frustrating because it's like, how does somebody like Saul know who a holy knight is? I get it. He's a vice admiral, but I've never suspected vice admirals to be within the range of seeing a holy knight unless they were needed during like a buster call. And even during buster calls, it would mean that the islands are trying to harm the celestial dragons. And that's the only reason like celestial dragons ever move. It's because somebody's threatening celestial dragons up
Yeah.
front. And even then, the admirals get sent in their place, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, when do these guys ever show up? And it seems even Brooke knows about Holy Knights. So like they got to be moving around even when celestial dragons aren't being threatened.
I think it's definitely like a hearsay thing, right? Whispers, like legends. They're like, yo, there's definitely like another. They might just know a little bit of something. Like, there's somebody on the top end level, just like, you know, as people within the real world, we know there's like, you know, there's the FBI, but we know there's somebody like. And they might have heard the name. That's how I took it.
Do we know how old Saul is? Because he's a giant, so he could have been around for a minute. And I guess if you're around the world's government
Saul's
for a
probably
while,
definitely older than Brooke. Let me Google it. Saul.
I mean, Saul, there might have been a chance where Saul's
127.
Damn.
Yeah, he definitely might. Like he's probably heard the whispers of God Valley.
But he said he's seen them before.
Mm.
That's the thing. He's seen them before. And the thing is, he also knows that they're immortal. So he probably saw them
actually
in
crazy.
battle.
Oh, we're talking about Brooke, right?
Like,
not Saul.
Yeah,
no, Saul said that.
Saul said it.
Yeah.
He said
yeah. Okay.
But Brooke himself has only probably heard or probably saw. We don't know because he's from West Blue, an unknown kingdom. And he was the leader of a battle convoy and also raider squads.
Yeah.
So that was before he joined up with the Rumbar Pirates. So my theory, which I have coming out tomorrow, is that he was probably of nobility within that West Kingdom.
Brooke?
Yeah, he might be a noble. We just don't know about it yet. The same way Sabo was a noble.
I mean, that would also definitely give way into like how Brooke even speaks. You know what I mean? Brooke does have
his attire.
He kind of have he has like a bougie. He looked like Sabo in regards to like how he dressed. Got the ascot. Yeah. He got all of that. So I could see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think nobles probably are in touch with celestial dragons to a degree, the same way like his brother Shelley saw the empty throne during the reverie. So they might know who Holy Knights are just due to that.
Word. How we feeling about so I am being very harsh. It might be because of kind of the talks. So I'm a Sanji fan, right? So I'm gonna let that know right now. And people will tell me that Sanji's under Jinbei. Guys, even Nami's calling it out.
Okay.
Jinbei, what are you doing?
No. Slow down, Corey.
I've slowed down. I didn't even move that fast yet.
Gunko's
I think you moved fast already.
Gunko's, we already talked about this, bro. Gunko's powers are a little freaky. All right. Let's give her the credit and let's give Jinbei the credit. She is a God's Knight, and Jinbei is over here saying, stop shouting. He's being nice with it too. Because honestly, anybody else would have been like, yo, shut the fuck up. He's being nice with it. He's over here. He's trying to think of a plan. He's not just gonna like go into action. All right. They
did go into action and they lost.
Right, but they're not gonna keep going. They're tied up right now.
They can't keep going.
They need to formulate a plan before they take action. All right. So if I were Jinbei, shit, I really. Again, he's a gentleman. Let's be honest. Nami's over here complaining. I don't know why you're putting it all on Jinbei. You've been traveling with Usopp the longest. What's he doing? This is supposed to be his arc, right?
You have different expectations. You know which friends in your friend group can scrap and which ones can't scrap. Don't do that.
All right.
Don't do that.
So you're telling me that Sanji wouldn't be tied right next to Nami?
Sanji, Sanji would have just lost this battle once he saw Gunko. It's not fair.
Exactly. So I don't know why you're even trying to make this.
That's a different type of L, though. Would Zoro have lost?
Cool. I mean, you're both right. In my opinion. but I will say this, the main benefactor as to why I don't think Sanji is under Jinbei or like Jinbei's over Sanji, I think they're relatively like right now.
Yeah.
I have Jinbei a little bit over Sanji because of the hockey factors, but I think, and this is what I was going to say tomorrow too. I've tried to say this a couple times that whatever this regeneration ability is that the Gorosei have, it's from Imu. It's theoretically 100%. It's from Imu because Imu took away Saint Saturn's powers and then he ended up passing away, right? But the one thing that we saw that this regeneration capability kind of, or just the power that Imu grants people kind of dissipates is through Conqueror's Haki, right? We've seen that with the Joy Boy Haki knot from Emmett. When it was pulled, they turned back into their regular human forms, and then they were forced to go back to Mari Joa through the Abyss pentagrams, right?
Yeah.
That was just Haki alone. Now, the type of Haki Luffy was using on Egghead versus like Warkery and Saint Saturn, if you look at a lot of those punches that he threw, he never threw it with advanced
with hockey coding. Yeah, he was just punching.
Like advanced conqueror's coding.
Yeah.
He only threw it with like Rio.
Yeah.
He used Red Rock on St. Warkery's head and he hurt his hand, but he never used Conqueror's Hockey, right? And it just shows that when you use Conqueror's Hockey of any type on these Emu granted people who receive power from him, most likely they're not going to be able to regenerate, or something's going to happen that causes them not to be able to use the powers that they were granted. So when you look at Jinbei, he doesn't have Conqueror's Hockey. When you look at Sanji, he also doesn't have Conqueror's Hockey. So for Jinbei to fall to somebody that he would need Conqueror's Hockey in order to like damage them, I don't think that puts Jinbei under Sanji. I don't think it puts Sanji under Jinbei. I just think that they both lack what they need in order to bang out with the Holy Knight because of the regen. And that's Conqueror's Hockey.
Okay.
And that's how I look at it in my mind, based off of what we've seen so far from the show.
Yeah.
Now the difference is, do the Holy Knights share the same amount of power that's granted to them by Emu as they do with the Gorosei members? And to me, I don't think that they do, because Emu's inner circle is the Gorosei members.
Yeah.
And they've actually disrespected Garling, the head of the Holy Knights, when they were like, yo, show your difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your humble submission and respect?
Yeah.
When he walked in and they were like, yo, who you
think you are?
Come through here?
Yeah.
So there's clearly a difference that for me, the Gorosei reign above the Holy Knights.
Yeah.
And they receive a lesser power than the Gorosei do from Emu.
Yeah, that's the transformations, right? Like the Yuki thing.
The transformations, the regeneration, the long living status, that all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like for the because I'm of the belief that, like, the girls say that's not devil fruits, right? They would have announced it, right? Emu just has the ability. I don't think it's devil fruits. I think it's based on like chapter 1138, right? Referencing the mural and everything like that. Like, they said like a being found a way to harness like the tree. I'm gonna mess it up, so I'm gonna try my best to like say the wordings of how they said it exactly. But Emu had to have been that being that found a way to harness just power overall and be able to hand it out, right? And the same way you're saying, like, there's levels to it. Like the girls say, get probably the ability to transform into a different demonic being, a different devil or something like that. Whereas like it seems like for the God's Knights, they may have, like, they all seem like they have devil fruits and then like a little bit of buff, like, okay, well, let me give you the pentagram so you can do this, and I'm gonna make sure you're immortal. But other than that, I ain't giving you no more than that. You know what I mean?
Because even with the pentagram, they said gives out, the more vulnerable he is.
I don't know about that part exactly. I don't know if it makes him more vulnerable. I think he's just able to do it free ball.
In
there
my
has
opinion,
to be some downside to it. You can't just spam it.
In my opinion, I thought we were going to see Warkery get thrown into the ocean after he jumped off the island. And it was kind of crazy. He was lucky enough not to land in the water after he jumped off and tried to fight the giant pirates. I would have liked to see him jump in the water, bro, because I'm pretty sure, like, I'm like 99% sure the Gorosei and the Holy Knights have their own devil fruits. And then the power that Emu grants them is just regeneration, which means because he's long living and he's able to probably give it away, I can see how that would work, where like they do have devil fruits because they have zone abilities, bro. Like, I don't think Emu could just give away zone abilities like that, especially legendary ones, because then where does it stop?
Though. I think he could, though. And I think he's selective in regards to like who gets the ability. Like, you don't see Garling getting the ability to transform into something else than what we've already seen. Like, I don't think he's going to transform into a spider. You think he's going to transform it? I don't think he's going to transform into Saturn.
Because I guarantee you, he took the power from Saturn and then just gave it to Garling. He's going to be a Yuki.
Yuki?
Yeah, I guarantee you, bro.
I feel like it would be kind of lame. If I'm just gonna like layman's terms, it's just gonna be kind of lame if we see that just being reused and just being passed down. I think that would be much better narratively if he's just nice with it with the hockey. Just like Shamrock is probably going to be, just like Shanks is.
Well, Shamrock already showed that, like, he already has a saber that has the Cerberus in it, so he's already not a hockey guy.
Yeah, and again, like Garling was probably the one who gave Whitebeard his scar. I don't see you don't think it was him?
No.
Why disagree?
People avoided Whitebeard, bro.
What do you mean?
People avoided Whitebeard, and plus the other reason is, like I said, Holy Knights don't move unless Celestial Dragons are being threatened, and Whitebeard was always the one not to threaten Celestial Dragons.
He was like, nah.
He was like, nah, unless one of his kids ended up running
Yeah.
into a Celestial Dragon, and like
But-
you know what I'm saying? Then Whitebeard comes after you.
Wasn't Whitebeard on God Valley though? And that's probably where he got the scar.
No, when Whitebeard got the scar, it was after he met Roger, like for the final time. Because he
didn't have the scar when they
he
were
didn't have he didn't have a scar then.
Interesting.
Because we saw Whitebeard after that moment
Yeah.
when he linked up with Roger, when he asked Odin to join his ship, and he didn't have that scar.
Right, and that was obviously after God Valley.
Yeah, they call you
So-
out. They said Larry will never say Whitebeard got scarred by Garland.
No, but the thing is, you would have to prove
He's-
why
he's-
that would be possible. And right now, it's just like, yo, apparently Whitebeard was just sailing on seas. Garling happened to be
Yeah.
sailing on the sea, and then they fought. So Garling would have to go out of his way to fight Whitebeard for no reason.
Well, if it's one thing Whitebeard knows how to do is get snuck.
By his
now
sons?
you really got me thinking now, man. That's
No, it's
actually a
true.
really good point.
Yo,
Unless
bro.
Oda's about to retcon that whole shit.
Nah, look at Odin's flashback, and you'll see that God
Mm.
Valley, there's no scar, and then there's no scar after God Valley. But the final time he meets up with Roger, when Roger tells him he's about to pass away and tells him what the One Piece is,
Yeah.
he has the scar like then, and then after he gets another one.
All right. Well, last detail I want to bring up in these first 2 pages is I really do like the respect we really been seeing over these this arc completely for Luffy as an emperor. You know what I mean? Like the fact that Killingham is over here like, yo, we don't need to really be pissing bro off. We can do this without doing.
And
Don't put too much salt. You put too much sauce, bro.
That pays
Mhm.
into what Barry was saying before about the Conqueror's Hockey being one of the only things to affect the regenerative abilities because
Mhm.
they know Luffy's got it like that.
Listen,
Yeah.
If you ever see me in the middle of the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear.
Shout out to Zoro too. Like if Zoro comes across one of these dudes, or like let's say like Gabon has one, like he's a conqueror, I could see
Yeah.
him fighting Sommers and possibly, hurting him, and then people are gonna be like, all right, yo, like it depends.
I mean, listen, Danny was in the camp early on that Somers was that Gabon wasn't going to be seen until the end of the arc when it was time to say goodbye, and he just gave him a pony lift. I was like, nah, I think I told him, I was like, Gabon's probably going to be the first person to fight really fight these guys.
Yeah, and we're clearly seeing that. Well, that's spoiler. We'll see at the end of the chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see.
Well, Larry, you want to take these next 2 pages?
Yeah. So Gunko puts her foot on his face, and then Brooke goes, Gwa! And then we hear Brooke, and then Gunko goes, listen up, you. And then Brooke goes, huh? And she goes, I want you to write songs for me for the rest of your life. You're going to be my slave. And then Brooke is like, huh? He's like, did you know I have, the type of hair I got? And she's like, okay.
Wow.
Nami goes, what? Does she know about Brooke's music? Usopp, a celestial dragon who's a fan of the Soul King? Jinbei, sounds like a nightmare of a fan. And then Summers goes, knock it off, Gunko. I don't want to fight with one of the 4 emperors either. Let's just do our job and go. And then Brooke sits up. He says, I'm quite sorry, young lady. But from the day that Captain Straw Hat Luffy bestowed me my second life, I have been dedicated to no one but him. Pause, bro. And then Gunko goes, what if I said I would kill you? And then Brooke said, I would rather die than live without honor. And then we hear Usopp go, look out, Brooke. And then Gunko kicks Brooke right in the face. And then she grabs her chest, apparently in pain. And then
she said, my Shayla.
Yeah. And then you see her in the background beating on Brooke. And then we hear them screaming for Brooke. So Summers goes, are we good now, Killingham? And then Killingham responds, yeah, go ahead.
I think that the stocks that Gunko's secretly a revolutionary are pretty down, especially after these 2 pages.
I don't know, man. They're looking up to me still.
She's a bad groupie, bro.
She could have killed these dudes.
She a groupie, bro.
Well, like they just said, they're not trying to piss off for a Yonko, because if they kill anybody, hell, Sommers doesn't even want her to kidnap one of the crew members. They already know that Luffy's about to pull up. He did it on Enies Lobby. He'll do it again. They're not trying to catch
They don't know
that
any
smoke.
lobby. They got
Like-
the Carfax. They look back at the game tape.
Yeah.
It was like, nah, I seen what they did over there.
They know the details. I just not like she literally wants him to be her slave. That's crazy.
Yeah,
She's not like, oh, she's not even fangirling. She didn't even fangirl for a minute. She was just like, I'm taking you with me. That's celestial dragon mentality, bro.
Listen, I just want to give a shout out to my guy Brooke. Oda, you may not give my guy Brooke the best fights, but you definitely know how to give my guy the best bars.
I thought you were gonna say the best view because
Yeah, I was gonna
Stop
say
it.
the best view too.
Listen,
You've
this
been
was-
trying
this-
to look at panties for a minute.
This was a
dog.
missed
Yeah,
panty
man.
joke, but she already gave it to him. So what was he gonna ask? What was he gonna ask? He was speechless.
You can never be satisfied,
He
bro.
clutched his pearls. He was like, "Oh, my God, young lady." So
I think this
forward.
is like another one of those good moments where like the crew members just get to declare their loyalty for Luffy, kind of like Nami did in
Yeah.
Wano, and time again where we've seen like the Straw Hats,
Yeah.
show their dedication to him, and it was nice to see that Brooke was like, I'd rather die than live with that honor. It was nice. It was nice to see.
Yeah.
My guy is always cooking. So I didn't realize that like Gunko was like beating on him. I thought Gunko was like checking on him because she felt bad for kicking him because that's her
Nah.
senpai.
She beating on him, bro.
Damn.
Yeah,
But
man.
why is she grabbing her chest? That really
Because it
confuses
hurt
me.
her, bro. She love him. She love his music.
Then
It's
why
like
did she
a-
keep beating on him?
Because she got to.
No,
It
I
could
think there's
be,
something else there.
So it could be a hint that Brooke's devil fruit itself is affecting her, or like her regeneration abilities, because Brooke has the ability to affect people's souls.
Mm.
So he's probably affecting whatever she's carrying, the same way he affected Big Mom's homies.
Ooh.
That's a really good point, man.
Shay in the
Yeah.
chat said Larry knows ball with the Big Mom agenda. What's the
Yeah.
What's the Big Mom agenda?
That Big Mom's
She-
still alive?
She's thicky, bro.
Oh yeah, listen,
prime Big Mom, bro.
Prime Big Mom.
I'll take Big Mom right now.
Oh,
Conquerors, clap that thing on me. Dirty wine.
okay. So
Hey, yeah,
we're
you're
on-
over here shitting on Preacher Boy from Sinners? Nah, bro. You gotta pick and choose your battles,
Some
my
nerve.
guy.
Yo, Pop Meat Kettle.
Listen, man.
Cry it.
But I think that's probably what happened. She kicked him and then felt pain from it. And probably while she's kicking him, she's still feeling that pain.
I mean, maybe the cost of getting some kind of powers from Emu is that he'll like take your soul. Like you make a deal with the devil, you're putting your soul on the line.
Oh, yeah, 1000%.
So maybe because her soul is tied to something else or whatever it may be, like you said, Brooke's devil fruit's affecting it.
Yeah.
Might be.
All right.
Or she
Yeah.
might not be a real person.
Gungo. I mean,
Are we
I
talking
think
about your-
I think she's a
Are we
clone.
talking about your Emu theory?
Yeah, that emo theory was off. But it was fun. It was fun to play with. Right?
What's the emo theory?
No, the emu theory was I was saying that she was emu, but
Mm.
so that theory only has 3 minutes because that's the cap. But I was basically saying when emu got introduced to One Piece,
Yeah.
they were also shown with the Vegapunk satellites. It was like
Yes.
same time.
You thought
And then
the
Vegapunk showed like
Yeah.
he could split himself into 6 people. And I was thinking, if there was somebody living for thousands of years, and there was
Yeah.
somebody that had Vegapunk's devil fruit during the Second World, which everybody thinks that's where emu's from, right?
Mm.
Why wouldn't emu have some of this technology at all,
Mm.
right? So there's like 3 people who have the clone technology and the factor lineage technology.
Yeah.
And that was Queen, Vegapunk, Caesar, and then if you want to, and Judge. So there's like
Yeah.
4 people that have it. Why wouldn't emu have it?
Hmm.
If they, and they were under emu.
Okay, so
That's
like
totally fair.
I was thinking about the satellite idea of like it only being with Emu's powers, right?
Yeah.
The extension of it all. Like that's why the Gorosei exists in the same metaphorical value of like the satellites for Vegapunk. Like, okay, Vegapunk has the 6 satellites and Emu has the 5 Gorosei. That's how I kind of always viewed it. So I never really thought about it like a technological sense of things like that.
So when Vegapunk sent himself to Ohara after it
Yeah.
was destroyed, that wasn't his real body.
No,
That was a vessel
the
that he created.
the clone thing.
Yeah. And he brought that clone to Elbaf.
Oh.
So I said to myself, why wouldn't Emu be able to do something like that with Gunko? And also, she has the arrow ability, which Emu used against Sabo and King Cobra.
Yeah.
And plus, she hates Nika. She's afraid of Nika the most.
Yeah.
And she, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that are already there, but I don't think it's
so
valid.
that's what makes me think Gunko might be a Ginny clone or something to do with Ginny, because the only other person who we've seen excessively seen information in regards to like Nika and Joy Boy and things like that was Ginny growing up with Kuma, right? So
Yeah.
having that like maybe visceral reaction, whereas like the real Ginny would have been like, oh my God, I'm so happy that Nika exists, the same way Bonnie was thinking that it would make sense for a Gunko, G, right? Like sometimes Oda's really simple, right? Whereas like maybe the G in Gunko is very similar to the G in however you spell Ginny, right? So that's what makes me think like, okay, that reaction being like the opposite of what they would have had if they were still around. And I don't remember, so obviously correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember seeing Ginny's body.
Oh, it was back at Sorbet Kingdom.
Okay.
Oh, they brought it back?
Yeah. Kuma, she died before Kuma got there. And then when they got here, he buried her.
So that leads me to think could be a clone, right? The same way we have Stussy and Miss Buckin. It doesn't really necessarily negate the fact that Ginny could be, Gunko could be like a older, a grown-up version of what they cloned Ginny as early on. Who knows? Like if you're talking about like the technology and everything like that, like maybe they had some of this stuff available beforehand.
Yeah. So I think when Dr. Vegapunk first discovered the lineage factor, which led to like the clones, I think this was like 36 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was before Ginny.
I think it was before Ginny. So it really depends on like the timeline of that. I could look it up real quick, but I'm pretty sure that's when it was. Ginny was 39 and she died. I forgot how many years ago she died.
She died
38 years ago.
Yeah.
She died 38 years ago. Or she was at God Valley 38 years ago.
Yeah, because Bonnie, she died right before Bonnie was like what, 1? And
Bonnie's 12.
Yeah.
So it could be.
It could be. I mean, it's in the timeline of her being because Saturn was also head of science. And he was already experimenting on her.
Yeah.
So I can see where like they could have took like DNA from her and created another person.
All right, cool. Let's get into these next 2 pages. Check. Can you hear me, Elbath? Come in, warriors of Elbath. Who's that? What message is this? I'm sure you're all busy scrambling to deal with the strange events unfolding around you. That was our doing. I am a dagger sent straight from sacred Marijois. I am Somers of the Holy Knights. As we cut to Craftsman Village, southeast Sunworld. Marijois? So he's from the world government. Why would they do this? Captains, they're sending this message all over Elbath. As I'm sure, so they've revealed who they are. And we cut to Huntsman Village, northwest Elbath. Are the children safe? You've realized all over Elbath, we have taken 10 of your children as hostages. On top of that, we have reduced an orange-bearded man to a bloody mess for the crime of pursuing us from the school in an attempt to free the children.
Yo, Somers is on his evil mastermind grind right now.
I love the Holy Knights energy. I miss when people would just like they're just dastardly, bro. Like I miss when like having just like a villain that's just evil just because. It's good because I feel like people were begging for Kaido to be something more in Wano, and I feel like that like leads you to like being like a little disappointed. Like maybe there's something more to this guy, but I don't even want anything more from the God's Knights. I just want them to be just bad.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that here with them kidnapping the children. And it was nice to see the reactions of everybody on Elbath. I think it's funny that this one guy's like Mary Joie from the World Cup. Why would they do this? Because they're terrible people. And if the Giants are going to be playing like such a crucial role in the coming war, with whatever side that they pick, you know, seeing this happening to them, if they end up saving the children, there ain't no way they're going with the world government.
Yeah. It doesn't. So Elbaf doesn't get the news at all unless they search for it. So they're pretty isolated, like Wano. So they're not gonna know like the world government is bad unless like they've been involved.
Yeah, they don't know too much of their like doings and things like that.
Yeah. I will say this though, it's very interesting to see all the different countries within Elbaf. If you look, there's like a guy with a pumpkin head.
Yeah, Pete.
Which is interesting. And then there's people with hammers, but they also have like choppers. Like I don't know if that's like giant horns or that's just a part of the helmet. But if it is their real horns, then is Chopper like part giant? I'm joking. And then there's like indigenous giants. They have like the wolf clothing on top of their heads with like bow and arrows. That was pretty cool. I like seeing all the different fractions of like Elbaf itself.
Yeah, because even when they was breaking them down, when I was like reading before, I was like, huh. I was like, we just looking at everything else but the upper realm, huh? We just not gonna.
That's weird. I don't know why. Like even throughout the chapter, I'll mention it later, but I felt like the Heaven Realm should at least have somebody in charge of in Elbaf entirely.
Is there a secret they're hiding from us? Like
it seems like that's just an open wasteland at this point.
There must be like a princess of Elbaf. Maybe we don't know about. I don't know at this point.
The last pony lives up there.
Word. The last Scabargamon's been hiding up there the whole time. Nobody's allowed up here. All right, Dan, you want to take next two?
I'll get to the next. Yeah. So here we're seeing Big Ange react. Mr. Saul? In other words, while you buffly assume that someone else was going to rescue...
I think it's blithely.
Oh, blithely. Oh, damn. Yeah. In other words, while you blithely assume that someone else was going to do the rescuing for you, the children have continued to march towards the goal. Saul? No! The game's only getting started. It's just a shame that we can't use the video. Can you name all the children who marched out of here? Of course. Then let's let their parents know that it's time for the twerps to wake up from their dream, says Killingham. Hey, how come we're all just marching along like this, says one of the kids. Where are we going? I don't know, but we're already far away. That's not true. This is branch 8. We're on our way. We're on the way back. Yeah, but we can't control our feet. Why can't we go home then? I want to see mommy. I want to see daddy. We're kidnapped. It means we can't see them. What? Stop whining. I'm here. And unlike you crybaby weaklings, I'm a warrior. Ah, says one of the kids. A monster, a ghost. Save us, Colin. Here we're seeing Colin even react. Yeah! As he screams at the top of his lungs.
Bro think he All Might, huh? I'm here.
Yeah, man, he's a My Hero fan.
Plus Ultra.
Yeah, I'm glad to see where the kids are awake.
Yeah, finally, like getting to see a little bit of their personalities and things like that. Like, got to give us something, I guess, at this point.
Yeah,
I wonder if I guess the shadow, not the shadow monsters, the dream monsters that Killingham cooked up are there now to make sure the kids get guided safely. Because I'm assuming they're not going to let the monsters attack the kids. Well, which I thought for a second, because they were going to let the kids die by fire anyway. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah, well, that was like a momentary thing. Like, they don't want them to really die by the fire, but they're like, yo, whatever happens, happens. But this is like, because the same way they attack Saul, right? They're like, all right, we can't let another Saul situation, another random giant come over here and try to like help these kids. So let's keep these ghosts or whatever, because these things are regenerating, right? These nightmares ain't just going away. So it's like the giants are currently having like an endless fight, it seems like.
Yeah, they're being overwhelmed.
Any other? I mean, I like Colin's like vibe here. Colin is showing to be one of the more interesting kid characters that Oda has introduced post time skip, out the gate at least.
Out the gate. Okay.
Out the gate, I mean, because Momo's like, you gotta grow. Momo gotta grow on you, and they don't grow on you. I feel like until the end of Wano.
It's true.
Tama was pretty cool. I like Tama.
Yeah, he came out the gate with Tama head. I ain't gonna lie. And Big Ange though, girl, it's gonna get worse late in this chapter. But if you ever needed an op within your group to just tell everybody your shit, It's big
Nah,
Ange.
bro, you
It's
can't
big
blame
Ange.
her, bro.
What?
You can't blame her, bro.
Nah.
It's not her fault, bro.
I think like letting the people know like what the exact circumstances are is important to the rescuing. I mean, do you think? I mean, it's a little bit of spoiler for what's going to happen later on in the chapter, but do you think
Yeah.
Scopper would be rushing to go save the kids if he didn't think that Colin was one of them?
He needed to hit a name.
Mm.
Yeah, but there's something else you do later that's like, all right, girl, shut up.
All right, you just need to confirm it, bro.
Larry, you want to take the next two?
Yeah. We get to the Savar, and it says, it sounds like they took out Sol. Turn us around. We need to go save the kids. And then we hear, but captains, there's a hole in the bilge, and we've got broken oars. And then we hear, damn it, what kind of freakish beast is that? And then one of the giants says, I don't know. It's some sort of woman monster. Kind of looks like my wife.
My wife.
Watch out. She's going to beat you over the head. And then we see this like evil woman breaking the oars at the bottom of the ship. That other one looks like my wife. Huh?
My
Wait,
wife?
these monsters all came from the children's worst fears, right? And your wife is Bent's mom? That's right. So Bent was asked to imagine what he was most afraid of, and the answer was mommy. And then we see these two huge sleep tids of women just tearing the Savar up, and they look crazy, bro. They look like Big Mom.
Yo,
Yes.
at
They
this
look
point,
exactly like Big
just
Mom.
give us skinny Big Mom as a ghost, as a nightmare.
Yeah.
Hunger pains,
Give us skinny Big Mom as a nightmare, and I'm here. Oda, give it to me, and my life is yours.
And then we hear, wait, what? That's our worst fear too. And then you see all the giants like screaming. And they're like, yeah, we can't fight. Our morale is getting hammered.
Yo, that Oda is hilarious, bro.
Seeing Dory like that is funny as hell, bro.
Yo, I first read through, I was like, are they serious right now? Are they really about to just be like, yo, we can't fight? We can't fight.
That's our.
Listen, bro.
Oda,
It's kind of like
got it.
Sanji when he can't fight women, man. These guys are afraid of their wives
Women at Elbath, man.
because they know they're drunk too.
Yo,
You coming home drunk again?
when bro hit that line and said, and your wife is Bent's mom, I said, whoa. Okay.
I mean,
listen.
imagine he was like, what do you mean by that, bro?
What you mean by that? What you
you
mean my
talking
mom? What you mean my wife is Bent? What do you mean by that? Life with Anime with the $25 super chat. Best podcast collab going on. In the presence of greatness, all love, fellas. Hope you had a great weekend. Stay up. Thank you, brother, man. We appreciate
Thank you guys.
that we getting the trickle down from the Shonen Showdown sweatshop. We appreciate y'all a lot, y'all.
We need to get all three podcasts.
Listen, let's make it
Let's do
happen,
it.
bro. Let's make it happen.
I always
We'll
tell
do the
people,
hot ones together.
because there's a lot of content creators, but there's not a lot of anime podcasts that really link up and like vibe out.
Yeah.
And like, I'll be honest, bro, it needs to happen more often, man.
Listen, I'm always down for it, bro. Like,
It's
listen,
different, bro. Different content.
We strong together. We all got different vibes, different energy. You never know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down for it always, bro. Listen, you want to make it happen. If you want us to make it happen, we're down. We want to make it happen for the people. If y'all want to see it, listen, let us know. Let us know.
We'll talk about it.
We
A little
always
Family Feud action.
listen. We just happy to be invited to the party.
Yeah, we can have a good time, bro.
But I mean, I feel like it's nothing crazy in these 2 pages besides like the Giants like freaking out about the moms.
Just the
like,
art.
Just comedy.
Just
Yeah.
the art.
Yeah,
The art in this chapter has been crazy, low key.
Oda actually been like, I'm scared for my
Crazy.
boy's wrist. I'm like, all right, bro. Listen, you've been drawing a lot of details lately.
It's a break week, so no worries.
I didn't even
Yeah,
realize it was a break week, bro.
Yeah, break week, bro.
I did not know that actually.
I love
Damn.
break weeks.
Oh, I mean, listen.
love break week.
As people who make as because early in the days, Danny was like, man, it's a break week. Now we like making more content. He's like, thank God for this break week, boy.
Yo, Blue Lock's
love
on
break
break
week.
this week too. I'm so happy.
You never been happy about a Blue Lock break. He's like, I don't got to stream Tuesday. Oh, chilling.
Perfect.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
a
y'all
huge
still be
believer in
working
quality.
on break weeks.
Yeah,
It's all
quality.
about quality, bro. Don't push it out if the quality ain't there.
Yeah.
And this right here, every like low key, we've been so focused on the dialogue, but if you look at like the beginning parts of this chapter, even the Elbath tree, you're gonna be like, yo, bro,
He's
the
consistent. Like
art in this, it's just all wide shots.
Listen, he don't even
Yeah,
gotta do
double
that
spread.
because drawing all those like the branches and the leaves and all that stuff for the widened shot of that's probably more work than just drawing the characters.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wide shots, bro, in this chapter, and they're
detail.
all hitting.
My boy Zod in chat, $4.99 super chat. I see you. Ask you guys to tune in tomorrow to hear my disdain for the Elbaf Giants and how I want to see the kids burnt into the straw. Bro, yo, Zod is a celestial dragon. Honestly, bro, be showing up on Demon Time every time. He wants to see Saul
world
go through.
burn.
He wants to see Saul be hurt. He wants to see the kids get hurt. He wants to see Robin go through more pain. Bro, don't like happiness. But
Listen,
shout out to
bro.
the Straw Hat Podcast.
Some
Always
people
love.
just want to see the world burn.
Listen,
Yeah, man.
I just want
That's
my
some
girl
shit.
to just like stop going through trauma. He's over here like, I need more.
No, she
No,
needs
listen.
more.
Yeah, you learn the best life lessons through trauma. Sometimes.
Yeah. Listen,
Damn.
bro.
People
The
grow
best
through
girls are
suffering.
the most traumatized.
Stop.
Okay.
He said, bro said, I don't talk to girls who have fathers.
They need to be a little unstable, bro.
Right.
The more unstable, the better, bro.
SC615 $5 super chat. Saint Larry said, "Pay your taxes here this week. We don't have anything better to do." Hashtag the Larry. Yo, the Larry tax. Yo, I really might need to make sure we have a separate meeting about the IRS and this stream.
Yeah, bro.
Because this tax is crazy, bro. What are you? The Boston Tea Party over here? What's going on, bro?
There's a whole lore behind this
Listen,
now.
bro.
You putting
You're gonna find
do you got tariffs over there?
I don't do nothing except just vibe out. These accusations put against me are false.
I'm next time I do TurboTax, one of the questions is going to be, did you pay your Larry tax?
Did you pay?
Imagine.
Did you pay the Larry tax? It's like, yo, do you want the standardized deduction or do you want the Larry deduction? Crying. All right, let's get into these next 2 pages. I'm sorry for always going out drinking, dear. I'm sorry for forgetting to take out the trash, dear. I'm sorry for eating the honey buns. See, it says honey cake here. You thought you want them honey buns. That was for the guests. Captains, they're ripping off the island clowns. We're gonna fall. Yeah. The giant pirate ship has crashed. So much for their bluster. Some of these sleep tids were real beasts. The kids' chances of rescue are dwindling by the minute. Now, Beard Hill Jarul, warrior of legend, it's time for us to talk. You mean Dorian brought you down? With no king on the throne, you're the boss around here. We cut to Ripley. You must be joking. The giant pirate spar is crushed? I hope they're all right. Let's hurry. She carries Frankie like a toy. Our goal here is quite simple. To make you giants our slaves in battle. The next step is to find out how effective these kids will be as hostages. I bet you're all wondering whose kids our 10 hostages are, huh? Then we cut to a classic Oda map, letting us know who is where. The library school, we see Saul and Straw Hat Pirates, we see the 10 children, the Western Village, the giant pirates, we see where Ripley and Frankie is, and we see all of that in proximity of where the original castle was and the Rainbow Road. So,
listen, I'm going to just say the design of that tree branch is wicked.
What you mean?
Oh, chill out, bro. Chill out. See?
I'ma just
It got a little curve to it.
Got crazy, bro. Pause.
listen. We were just talking. We're just glazing Oda for the art in this chapter, right? There you go, guys.
I don't know if you should use the word glazing talking about this.
Yeah, bro. This is crazy.
In the same sentence. Hold on. FBI, open up.
Yo, this wicked work, Oda.
It's freaky, bro.
Oda's been smoking some shit, guys.
Yo, these guys.
No, but look at Ripley too. Look at Ripley manhandling our boy Frankie.
Frankie like that shit.
Listen, I don't blame him.
You know she polyamorous.
That's true. And listen, a cyborg can probably live longer than a regular human. I'm just saying.
It's true too.
Bro gonna still Scott Gabon's wife, his baby mom's.
Yo, this thing, this vine thorn thing that Sommers is riding, I'm assuming that's his fruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not Killingham's. Like that's not like a dream. Like Somers didn't dream of
Yeah.
being able to ride some thorns. So clearly, this thorn has a face, it has
Oh,
eyes, it has a mouth.
They cooking you, bro. They calling you the tree eater.
The tree.
Yo,
Whoa,
they
no,
calling
no.
Danny the tree
Let's
eater.
not.
They
Listen. Let's not keep that going. All right.
I mean, this is interesting. I didn't think that Somers would have the ability to kind of create maybe a sentient being with his fruit. I didn't see that coming, but
it almost looks like a homie. But what is thorns? What does thorns have to do with creating an autonomous life form? This really, like, I thought maybe it had something to do with passion and love and that, hitting you back. But like, what's the deal here? Maybe
I mean, it's the same thing as like Magellan's devil fruit.
creates
Paramecia could
the little
just
slime thing. The
yeah,
slime
they
monster
could turn
thing.
into animals if they want to.
Yeah.
Huh.
Make them into like random, like, oh, they making random beings out of their abilities and stuff like that sometimes. I
Like
mean, even
Katakuri.
Karasu kind of.
Katakuri could do this if he wanted to.
What did Katakuri do?
Well, he just turned his body into like a Logia type form.
I mean, with
but he
Magellan's
could
fruit-
make a dragon out of his mochi if he chose to and
Yeah.
make it walk. Magellan did it with Hydra. Akainu did it with his Logia magma. He created like a magma dog.
I see what you guys are saying there, but I would be more inclined that maybe it has to do with, I don't know, maybe kind of like how Shamrock.
You think Killingham did a combo with him to give him a little vine snake? Yo, that sounds crazy. A vine snake. Ugh, God.
Listen, I got in your head, bro. Inception.
Chill. Nah, you the tree eater.
No. So what if it was like, yeah, maybe let's do vine snake. What if he like has a pet snake that ate the vine fruit? I don't know. I just like, I don't see. I understand what you guys are saying with Magellan and being able to make a dragon, but like the dragon didn't have, it had eye holes, but it didn't have eyes. I don't know. This just seems.
We've seen wickeder stuff with One Piece powers. Like at this point, I don't even overact. It's either Killingham made a vine, but I don't even think Killingham made a nightmare vine. You know what I mean? I just feel like he just can do this with his thorns or whatever, his thorn power.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, we've seen the jacket fruit. Anything's possible with these goddamn fruits, bro.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's just devil fruit.
Yeah. Any other details here before we move on to the next 2 pages?
No.
The slaves in battle was interesting.
Yeah.
The slaves in battle. I have a very great theory that King Harold actually wasn't a traitor. I believed heavily that he was a great man, a good man, who wanted to change the culture of Elbaf and went against all traditions. And through that hard adversity that he faced, garnered the respect to the point where people said he was the greatest king in Elbaf history. And what happened with his grand wanting to be like, hey, let's open up Elbaf to trade and deem other countries as people who don't fear us, right? Because we're fearful. We're much larger, this, and that. But overall, we just want to make the world a better place. The same way Odahime from Fishman Island wanted to. And I think what happened was he went to the world government. He went to go visit. And then he found out through his, because he's a great warrior.
Yeah.
He saw through their ways that what they were offering was probably not something he wanted anymore. And they kind of tricked him into thinking like, hey, become one of us, become affiliated, and we'll treat you right. And we'll open up the trade. We'll give you access to millions of, hundreds of other countries. And he said, bet. And then there was a certain turning point during that time where he visited Marijoa, where he noticed that everything wasn't all it seemed to be.
Yeah.
He came back to Elbaf. He knew he was going to pass away by Loki. But the thing was, it never stated that Loki was going to be the one to murk him. He was probably just going to be the cause of his death. So the reason why I think Shamrock and Gunko ended up showing at Oris Castle was because in order to place one of those pentagrams, one of the Abyss pentagrams, I think you have to first visit the place itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same way with Saturn's pentagrams, because like the Gorosei couldn't really travel there unless Saturn physically got there first. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think what ended up happening was they were summoned there because they were there before, and they're the ones who ended up trying to murk Loki, but King Harold stepped in the way and sacrificed himself. And I
Okay.
think that's how Loki ended up murking his dad. And I think the reason why Loki came to Orus Castle was because Loki, and he wanted to eat the devil fruit that was passed down through family tradition, right? Through the royal bloodline. That devil fruit was most likely the Gomu Gomu no Mi. The Gomu Gomu no Mi was supposed to be transported to the world government as a peace offering between Elbaf and the world government. And instead, it never happened.
Wait.
Because the year that King Harold died, less than a year later, the Gomu Gomu no Mi was on its way to the world government by Who's Who.
So you don't believe that Loki has the devil fruit that has always been there? You think he just has a different devil fruit altogether,
I think
or no devil fruit?
I think he has a Surtur fruit. You remember Surtur from Marvel?
Yeah.
I think he has that fruit.
Okay, that's
because
an option. Okay.
Haruden during Dressrosa wanted to get the Meta no Mi in order to be the first giant with like a Logia or a devil fruit or whatever like that. But he wanted to become a fire giant. And Surtur is known as a fire giant. And also he causes Ragnarok.
Okay. I was looking at it as like I thought maybe he wanted the Meta no Mi because the sun, right? Something similar to the sun god, like trying to make its own flame in itself, like in the mother flame, right? The idea of that. But
Surtur is made out of flames.
Yeah. So I've been kind of like you are almost getting me to change my mind, so I'm willing to like amuse the idea of like Harold being this way, because I've been in the camp of like I think Harold is just completely sus and really wanted to completely assimilate, and maybe Loki and Ja Rule somewhat came together somehow to kind of like stop that. But now like you kind of like maybe kind of delve deeper into it, because there are so many ways that like, you know, Oda has consistencies in regards to like similar themes he does with like kings and things like that in different arcs. So it's like sometimes you can tell like, hey, listen, things are not always as it seems, right? You may think this person is, I thought like maybe he's overly glazing Harold, saying he was the greatest, he was dope, he was nice, the same way like Cobra was told he was evil, and what's his name, Riku was told he was evil, and then you find out they were actually good. So I was waiting for Oda to kind of put this on his head and make it seem like, no, Harold was actually ain't shit.
Like, so there's two things, right? There's two things. One, King Harold during the past was shown to tell Loki and Haruden that he loved them and he wanted them to work together in order to bring Elbaf to a prosperous moment. The same way Oda Hime did to her kids.
Yeah.
And I think they both made the same mistake. But I will say the most convincing factor, I probably will convince you or not. Gabon said when they went behind the king's chair, King Harold's chair, and they went to that secret tomb, right? That chamber.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of empty chests everywhere, right? Bunch of empty chests everywhere. And he was like, "Oh, I think Roto was like, yeah, like thieves come here and they just, you know, try to look for treasure and do all that." But the thing is, nobody was allowed to come into the castle at all. The only people were bodyguards. So I think what happened was Loki ended up going behind the chair and trying to search for the devil fruit, and ended up eating whatever devil fruit he found in whatever random chest that was in there. And that's who actually was who emptied all those chests. And plus, most devil fruits that we've seen have come out of like chests too, right?
Yeah.
Like God Valley had devil fruits in chests. We saw Luffy when he ate his, it was kind of like in a chest as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened.
Yeah. Okay. Shout out to Za with the super chat, $4.99. Last week was the happiest I have been reading One Piece. I watched Saul get beat up with a smile on my face and tear in my eye. Burn that damn mural. Man,
the mural. Whoa, what's going on?
Why is the mural catching smoke? Za, you just hate. What do you like about One Piece at this point? Because
dude, he likes the death and destruction. Clearly,
that's a different story. That's called JJK.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, or Attack on Titan, or Solo
you
Level.
Might need help,
apparently,
or Solo Level. Apparently,
you might need help, bro.
Word. All right, let's get to these next two pages. Danny.
Yep. So here we got Big Ange saying these are the names of the children who were kidnapped. First off, Yulva. Wah! Yulva, my granddaughter's granddaughter, says Ja Rule. Chief Ja Rule. Next, Scaldi. Is there anything we can do for ourselves? Olav. It's a dream. It's all a dream. That's my grandson, Captain. As was that I forgot that guy's name. As he says to
Who you talking about?
Brogy. The guy. Oimo. Is that Oimo or Kashi?
I think that's Oimo.
Oimo.
Let me
As Oimo
start.
said.
Yeah.
No.
I just say both names, but it's Oimo Okashi.
Yeah. I get
Yeah,
that
it's Oimo.
confused. Oimo. Then Karin. I always have the worst luck. Mog. I'm supposed to be strong, but I can't stop. Ranja. Don't worry. It'll all work out. That little girl looks like the little girl from Water 7, the one with the mermaid, with her little rabbit.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
God damn it. I played a One Piece
Why?
card game too. I can't remember this girl's name.
Why did it have to be my child? Branch 8, right? I'm on my way. Bent.
Chimney.
Mommy's going to yell at me. Chimney. Joanna, at least you have parents. Bjorn, can't at least I be saved? That makes 9, but just now, hoping to save his friends, a little warrior named Colin just showed up to join the group. So that makes 10. Summers is starting to sound like a game show host right now.
I mean, this is the game.
Right? Did you just say what I think you did, Bjorn? Sorry. What? Colin? Exclaims Ripley. Did you hear that, Ripley? Our son's a hero. Now's not the time for, and now, our commands. Heed them closely, Elbaf. Yo, Gabon's hilarious, guys. This man's over here. He's proud of his son.
He's too unserious. It's like,
he's been through too many situations. He's like, it'll work out.
Well, we got to meet the future Colon pirates, though. I guess this is his crew, probably.
Probably.
I like that one girl actually has the horns that Loki kind of has.
That threw me off a little bit. I'm like, oh, so we got a little baby ancient giant.
Maybe.
And she doesn't have parents. That's a shonen protagonist right there.
Joanna.
Joanna.
I don't know what to think about Joanna's horns because, like, King Harold's horns were on the front.
Yeah.
Loki's horns are on the front.
Loki's are in the front. They kind of look
and they seem like they're the closest to being ancient giants.
Yeah,
and
these look more like Yamato horns almost.
Yeah, and like Oars and Oars Jr., correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think they have the horns on the front of their head. They have it on the side of the
side, actually, yeah.
Yeah, they have it on the sides, and it's black. So
yeah,
it could be where like she's a different type of ancient giant.
Yamato horns. Yeah, Yamato horns is like a red because we don't know exactly, right? We've seen this is black, right? Yamato, when we first read the manga, you might think it's black, but Yamato is like red and orange. It's on the side, so could not necessarily be an ancient giant. We don't know. We don't even really know, right?
We don't. I think the colors are signifying, but I really don't know, man. I feel like the horns on giants go either way. Like, for example, the Scaldi kid, he also has like horns.
Yeah,
like those are his actual horns. He doesn't have like a helmet, so he could be of ancient blood too.
He looked like bro from Dressrosa. Dude,
the Dellinger.
Dellinger. Nice one, and Danny. Dellinger. Look at that.
He was a bullfish.
Maybe they're all like part Oni too, because we don't really know what the Oni race is.
Yeah. Shout out to Shay with the $5 super chat. I freaking adore those damn kids now, and can't wait to see them as a main crew for Two Piece. Oh, guys, we're not getting Two Piece ever. I hope you guys realize that. You're gonna get giant. You'll get 1.2 piece, 1.3 piece, maybe Kingdom Hearts piece, but you're never gonna get 2 piece.
Kingdom Hearts piece.
You know how it goes, bros, and all those parts in between.
It's all about the money.
All about the money. Anything else in these 2 chapters? So we close out. Larry closes out with the last 2.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about them, but yeah, we'll go to the last one. All right, so we go back to Sommers, and he's saying, your school is completely useless in war, and your library is packed full of pointless records of the past. You will burn them down right now and swear fealty to us. If you do not, we will eliminate the brats one at a time. And we hear the kids just screaming for help. Ripley, shocked by it, says, what are they talking about? We know where the kids are. Let's go save them. And then we see the captains go, I want to smash these guys. And then Samar smiles and says, you have to make the call, Chief Yaru. And then he goes, me? And then you hear Anji go, no, wait, please, it's too cruel. And Killingham gives her like a look. And she yells out, the school is the symbol of Elbap's current state of peace. And the library is full of Elbap's ancient history. And the library is full of, oh no, I just read that, as well as knowledge of the world saved through the sacrifice of O'Hara's scholars. It's a fortune that belongs to more than just Elbaf. And then Samar gives like a nasty look and he's like, oh, calm down, lady. And then you see Chopper gets all frustrated and mad and he says, no, Robin, you can't. And then you hear Ripley go, please, Mr. Ya. And then he goes, you got it. And then we see Robin get really serious, about to use her Devil Fruit power, and Gabon rushing on his way there. And then they basically both say simultaneously, I won't let them do this.
My baby girl, finally.
Corey, what did I say last week, bro?
Well, listen, you know she's about to play herself. You know they're going to have to swap her to Gunko. You know she's not fighting Somas, bro.
Listen, you don't know that. She might pull up. Those thorns might not be able to do nothing to the hands, the floor hands, if she got armament hockey on them. If she unlocks it right now.
How we feeling?
This might be the moment.
What are our thoughts, Larry, in regards to matchups?
Saul's stronger than her, bro. I think Gunko is definitely somebody she could fight, but I don't think she could fight Somers. Her ability, her ability, like if she touches thorns with those hands that just sprout anywhere, it's gonna hurt her.
Yeah,
so it's a bad matchup for her.
If we're being honest,
it's not for good. It's not for good. It's not for good. No, thank God she's trying. Right, we need this. It doesn't make for good TV just to watch her just get washed up by the thorns. We're basically watching her and Dressrosa do the little umbrella thing when homie was dropping all them spikes. I don't need to see that again right now. Put her against Gunko. You know what I mean? Give Gunko maybe a hard time with the whole directional thing and the blooming of her hands and her feet. Like maybe she can't keep up with all that. I don't know. Maybe it'll make Robin's limbs get tangled. Her against Somers, maybe she could show up and be like, I'm going to stop you. And then Gabon's going to have to be like, yo, we're going to have to swap, bro.
Yeah, I mean, once Robin like pulls up against Somers and really like tries to at least hold him at bay, there's no way, number one, Chopper is not going to help out. You know, it's not about beating them, but it's about like keeping them at bay.
Yeah.
And doing something. And maybe in the middle of his, him talking to all of Elbaf, Robin, they'll hear people rebelling and it'll get the Giants to fight. And maybe Ja Rule won't make the decision to burn down the school, to burn down the library and everything. And then once Gabon shows up too to help, because that man's not even sweating. That man's going with a smile on his face. He is ready for it.
I don't know. I don't see Gabon being able to win the fight, right? Like I think he's just there.
The fight.
Yeah, no, I think he's just there to stall until our monster trio shows up and like kind of maybe have their pair offs with them. I mean, listen, you said Chopper might help. Listen, Chopper was able to use guard point against a Gorosei, so who knows what Chopper can do. And he beat Queen, right? He beat Queen. He beat Queen single-handedly.
He did his best single-handedly.
All right. Oh, JR with the gifted 20 subs to the moon.
That boy spent money, bro.
Yo, wealth.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Depends on how expensive your memberships are.
Now, we only got the $199.
Oh yeah, shout out to your man, bro.
We got the small tier. We really, really appreciate it. Shout out to anybody. Listen, if anybody got to get the membership, give a thanks to JR. Also, thank you, JR, for doing that. I'll break down what you guys are getting with that. You guys get early access. Bro. You guys get early access to our official episodes that come out every other Tuesday, 12 to 24 hours ahead of time from the 7 a.m. release. You also get access to our special emojis to use in the chat. We're trying to continue to add more things as we continue to grow, but right now we're keeping it simple. $199 if you got that. Bro. Listen, shout out to you. We really appreciate it.
Big W's.
Lucky Rule with the $5 super chat. Larry, I just rewatched the top 20 alive episode from the pod, and ain't no way you gave Emu a 97 overall. Are you okay? When is the next 20? Next top 20? You talking about like a 2K rating right now?
Yeah, we basically rated the highest being 100, 99, 98, and then we went around the table and then did the average. So if like somebody said 92, I said 99, somebody did this, and then we average and what that would be, and that would be placed in the top 20. I found it to be the most accurate between everybody's opinions.
I mean, who can really get 100, right?
Rocks.
Rock's got 100.
Rocks. Listen,
I love that.
I still think Rocks is. I don't know, man. He's suspect still. I don't know.
Listen. You gotta watch your mouth, bro.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
This is the GOAT. This is the GOAT you talking about.
I
bro.
know that you are apparently a Buggy hater, and I don't see that much of a difference between Buggy and Rocks.
You know what the difference is? He had 4 conquerors under his belt that stood with him for 5 years.
And it definitely wasn't no Davy back fight that kept him on the crew.
Buggy has Crocodile. He has Mihawk. And you don't know what other warlord is about to join Cross Guild.
Buggy's not telling Crocodile and Mihawk to shut up.
Thank you.
You think Buggy don't be talking crazy?
No, he doesn't.
Your back, sure.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. He actually doesn't.
Bro, he was afraid to give them a suggestion about actually going for the One Piece.
Listen, bro, I'm telling you, Rocks is Buggy's daddy, and Buggy is being just like his daddy and collecting the Avengers. He's collecting the Avengers with Cross Guild.
But when your goal is to become king of the world, and then the world's strongest man happens to be under your boot, and you tell him to shut up, and he listens, and he doesn't leave the crew.
Listen, bro.
You got to understand. There's a difference of when, you know what I'm saying? There's a difference in who we talking about, bro.
Listen, bro. Do we watch Vinland Saga here?
Have you ever seen Luffy talk about Buggy at any point with respect?
Of course not. But that's the gag. That's the gag of it all, right? Roger didn't really look at Rocks probably with that much respect. We don't know.
What are you talking about?
We don't know.
He went to God Valley for Rocks.
Yeah, because he was like, they got all this other stuff going on. They went there for the bounce. No.
Yeah, you hater, bro.
Now I'm the hater.
Yeah, you hating, bro.
I think
you hating, bro.
You don't even know that much about him.
Now you're not taking evidence. Now you're just saying evidence is not worth it right now. Now you hating, bro.
I'm hating. Listen, I think that Rocks might be sus. I'm just saying.
Yo, some guy.
We didn't even see him in the fighting panel. Even we saw Roger, Garling. We saw all of them in the fighting panel. And nowhere to be seen, Rocks. Nowhere. That seems like some buggy shit to do. Of course, Rocks beat up a little kid. Buggy will beat up a little kid too.
Nah, not this one guy in the chat. This one guy.
Did Whitebeard try to stop him?
Huh?
He did. Did Whitebeard try to stop him?
Whitebeard just let him rock. He was like,
when Whitebeard was told to shut up, what he do after?
Because bro, Whitebeard's not even about that. Like he's okay with being disrespected.
He's about family,
Whitebeard is okay with getting verbally disrespected.
What are you talking about, man?
Whitebeard is okay with that.
Hold on. I got another one. Rocks told Whitebeard to tell Kaido to come see him. Would Mihawk ever listen to Buggy if he told Mihawk to?
Listen, Rocks just got a little bit more extra juice, right? We don't know. Buggy, once he said, let's go get the One Piece, we have no idea what type of dynamic we're about to see with Buggy and Cross Guild. Once we finally
it's definitely not going to be a leadership dynamic.
We don't know. We don't know.
Bro.
I'm just saying.
You don't have
to,
anything is possible.
You do know whose era it was before Rogers, right?
It was Buggy's.
It was Rocks.
Shut up, bro.
Rocks era. Rocks' name is treated with the same audacity that O'Hara is. They had to wipe him off the planet.
Buggy got the same clout right now, bro.
No, he don't.
No, he doesn't.
Bro, Buggy got the same clout. He got people wanting to kill Marines.
No, that's not him.
That's Crocodile. Yes, but what the world knows in regards to information, not what us as the reader knows. What the world knows is what's fact, not what
You're
us as the reader.
You're gonna be so mad when you find out that Rocks is very much like Luffy.
I do also believe that Rocks may be actually Dragon's real father and not Garp.
No, I'm saying he's going to be exactly like Luffy personality-wise, but he's just going to be super dangerous. Watch. Because he's the one who dives into the world's greatest taboos. He's usually the one to leave the ship first in order to like go battle if he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was against the world government overall. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Okay.
The thing is,
do you think that like Luffy and Dragon are related to Rocks in any way or no?
No. So I'll tell you this, right? This is the main factor when it comes to the Rocks hype. Conqueror's hockey users only follow other Conqueror's hockey users. In the show, it's never been shown that a Conqueror's hockey user doesn't follow another Conqueror's hockey user. And it's littered, right? Ace with Whitebeard, right? Zoro with Luffy, Katakuri with Big Mom, Rayleigh with Roger, Whitebeard with Odin, Odin with Roger. Like there's nothing but people who follow other conquerors, but a conqueror never follows somebody that's not a conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
So
damn, he got you there, bro. I didn't even think about that.
So when you look at it, right, from the Rock standpoint, they might have not gotten along, but it was said they always fought each other. And they fought each other for 5 years from what we know since Kaido boarded.
Yeah.
And the thing was, he had Kaido, he had Big Mom, he had Whitebeard, and he had himself most likely. And
Cheeky.
all these people were fighting each other. And guess who at the end of the day kept the crew together enough to the point where they didn't separate? It had to be the person who stood above them. And that dude had to be a conqueror, because you can't tell me Whitebeard wouldn't follow somebody that wasn't.
Dude, in 5 years, 5 years is double the amount of time the Straw Hats have been together. Actually, 5 times.
Oda's such a troll, bro, that I am prepared for him to make him. There is so much yapping about him, bro.
If we see Rocks and he's got a big red nose, bro, then I'm gonna give it to you. All right.
Thank you.
That's not gonna happen.
Even if he does, like at the end of the day, that don't prove he's buggy. It would just prove that this dude was the most dangerous dude with a stupid nose.
But maybe it gives Buggy some type of runway to be more than what he is. Right? He's been a gag the whole time. Maybe Oda is really secretly planning something for bro.
Yeah, they named Rocks the greatest adversary Rocks ever had.
And is Buggy not that for Luffy?
No.
He almost killed him. He almost killed him in Logtown.
Luffy's greatest adversary is going to be Blackbeard.
If Dragon didn't save him, on paper, the world sees Luffy going against Buggy and around Buggy the most.
So what?
Just saying. The stories will be told. The stories will be told that Buggy the Clown was Straw Hat Luffy's greatest adversary.
I don't think so. They worked together.
They've been fighting together since the East Blue. They teamed up in Marineford.
No one knows that.
They fought in Logtown. What do you mean? Yes, they do.
They escaped Impel Down together. They showed up at Marineford working together.
I'm thinking about
they're not adversaries.
You guys are not thinking about the legends that will be told and passed down to our children.
Bro. You're thinking about jokes because you're talking jokes right now.
Listen, you need to respect Rocks, bro.
Oda is a jokester.
You need to read back. You need to read back, bro, about who Rocks is, man.
Listen, Za with the 499 super chat. Whoa, Buggy is the man, and he talked down to Shanks. He told him about himself. Buggy is the man. He told him to man up. I fuck with Buggy.
Yo, you forgot the hashtag Larry tax on that.
Hashtag Larry tax. Don't ever forget. Yo, guys, if you're gonna leave super chats, do not forget to put hashtag Larry tax, because we want to make sure all of our stuff is reported to the IRS.
You guys are terrible, bro.
We want to make sure it's properly marked down in our expenses.
You guys are terrible.
For the records. It's
for the records. For the records.
Your Honor, let the record show.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna see Rocks and be like, this is one of the hardest going dudes I've ever seen in anime, bro.
Listen, I'm always open to being wrong about One Piece because that's what makes it fun. Half the time, none of us are right.
and there's so much proof too, because Kaido, I'm pretty sure he built his crew off of meritocracy, so he wanted his crew to be strong, and this is how they got strong, right? Pretty sure he learned that from Rocks at a young age. And then even Whitebeard was like, yo, I can't have too many conquerors on my crew, dog. Like, I seen how it was. That was crazy.
He said, I'm gonna need some of y'all to be soft.
Yeah. He was like, yo, I just can't deal with it, bro.
I'm gonna need a jack.
He ain't even want Odin on the crew.
Yeah.
Because he knew what would happen. And then even Big Mom. Big Mom might carry some influence from Rocks too that we just don't know of. But I'm pretty sure that tea party of all the races being together, I guarantee you that's probably like a Rocks idea.
So like, are you leaning into Rocks maybe being like, maybe not as chaotic as the story is making it seem, like maybe a little bit more like chill, but the world maybe sees his reputation as like, nah, he was a menace. Do you think it may be leading more into that?
I think he was very violent and he did things in a violent way.
Okay.
But he was very much like Luffy, but with a higher goal. So like Luffy's whole thing is like ignorance.
Yeah.
Rocks is going to be enlightenment. And this is the reason why he dealt with the taboos of the world, such as like learning about certain things that he's not supposed to learn about. And that's one of the reasons why the world government deems like Ohara such a threat, was because if you learn about ancient weapons, you're most likely going to try to grab one, and then you're going to raise the sea level 600 feet because of it. Yeah. So I feel like he went to Elbaf because he once again was probably visiting King Harold, and he was diving into the taboos of knowing what the true history of the world was, and he
Mm.
knew that it was there. And I think he probably had some effect on King Harold's decision to make Elbaf a peaceful civilization, right?
Mm.
Because where else would he get this idea? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I can see like being the king of the world is much different from being king of the pirates.
Yeah.
He wanted that ambition, and he was honestly super close compared to like anybody else ever.
Yeah.
Like Rox kind of was looked up to, like Roger kind of looked up to Rox from what it seems like.
He probably definitely got influenced by him and the actions that he did.
Mhm.
Mm.
Because Roger wasn't on that kind of grind until after God Valley, it seems.
Yeah, Roger was
That's
a pirate for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to learn the world secrets.
I mean,
Yeah,
even with
point.
even with the world secret stuff, like tying back to this chapter, like Big Ange being the yaps to herself, I was like, why are you announcing
That's true.
all
Yo,
the?
she's a dry snitch, bro. Dry
I'm like,
snitch.
God, all right, okay, telling the names is one thing because we don't get Scott Bond jumping into action because he's like, all right, well now you messing with my kid, you messing with the information, so now Robin is jumping into action, so you damn near messing with her kid. But
I think
girls,
what took Rox out was an ancient weapon. I think Uranus took him out.
I thought.
I think.
Well, they
I
said
think that's the
Roger.
reason.
They said Roger and Garp worked together to take him down. No,
I don't think that's true. I think that's
think that's
just
Cap.
yeah, that's
Propaganda.
Cap.
Hearsay.
I think what really happened was Roger and them left, and then Rox ended up getting shot down by Uranus. Like you seen what happened with Lelouchia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why God Valley disappeared too. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
where Ennis Lobby is most likely where God Valley was.
See, I have a theory
Ooh, okay.
about
Yeah. Because the
Uranus.
same hole and everything like that. Yeah.
I don't think I have a feeling that Uranus isn't because we don't really know that much about Uranus. And I feel like a lot of people jump to the conclusion that the thing that attacks islands from the sky is what Uranus is. But if we know anything about Pluton, we know that Pluton is a giant battleship that can destroy islands. So I feel like whatever it is that we did see on Lulusia was, if anything, Pluton. And we know that Pluton was a battleship that had blueprints for it. So it could very well be possible that there could be more than one Pluton because the whole point of having blueprints is to create one to oppose the other.
Well,
so I think it would just be a little weird for Uranus to have the same kind of ability as Pluton, which is known to be the battleship.
Well, for like all we know, like even like referencing back to the mural, like Pluton could be kind of like a brawlic version of the Arc Maxim. Right?
Yeah.
Oda could have been giving us like an idea because like when Enel used Raigo, right? It looks very similar to how when you read the manga, how Lelouchia was blown up, right? It has like the whole things coming down, making a big dome, and then it's like an extinction of a land, right? It's very similar, right? And then in the mural, we see what looks like the Arc Maxim in it, right? So maybe Enel also had maybe. This is before we get introduced to Water 7, right? So Oda could have been cooking up the idea of Pluton by thinking of the Arc Maxim and expounding upon it. You know what I mean?
So my idea of what Uranus is, it's basically just a weather ball. So we went to Weatheria with the Birkin scientists, and they taught Nami about weather, right? And they also grew weather balls in crops, and they would use these weather balls to fly. But also it was the island of Weatheria. And with this weather ball, you could create rain, you could create lightning, you could create anything you kind of wanted to, right? And it's funny that you said Enel because Enel is also a Birkin, and he tried to create a ship that would rain down lightning or some type of like energy, and it would create a hole, like you said.
Yeah.
And he used it before on his homeland and destroyed the entire thing, and then he used it on Skypiea. So I think that was a foreshadow, actually, because Birkins happen to be like these great weather people, right? They're great weather people that came from the moon. Like the moon city that's on the moon that Enel visited, it was called the Burka Moon City. So they seem like the head angel people during that time. So for me, I think what happened was the technology used to make Uranus was built by the Birkins, the ancient Birkins. The same way Pluton was built by the ancient shipwrights of Water 7. And what ended up happening was they used the weather ball technology and they created a ship out of it, like the Arc Maxim, and they used it. And now they need a
Yeah.
mother flame to be put inside of the weather ball because
create-
all weather balls have flames inside of them.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And basically it would rain down destruction upon it. So when Lelouch was, there and Sabo saw something hovering in the sky, it could have just been a ship that's a cloud with a weather ball inside of it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. So when you look at a weather ball, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's what Uranus is made out of. And it was made by angels.
Listen, I am a Nell stan. Like I just want to see my guy back in the story. And I feel like Oda did not bring him up for no reason. Like it's one thing of them showing us the Arc Maxima, what looks like it in the mural, showing like a lightning bolt, however you want to decipher the mural. But straight up bringing up we haven't had Anel's name brought up since Sabaody, I think, right?
Well,
No, Whole Cake. Sorry, Whole Cake. When we were like, no, it was Sabaody, I think. When he was like figuring out hockey stuff.
So what's interesting too, before I cut you guys off,
not so good.
So when we go to the cover story of Enel on the Moon City, that Moon City was built hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of years ago. And we know that because the island that the scientist, I forgot his name, it's the same island that Vegapunk was living on. That's his homeland. But Vegapunk's homeland is made out of ice, right? It's an ice island.
Yeah.
But in that cover story, it's a regular island. Like there's trees, there's nice weather, there's all that. For climate change to happen, it would take like a couple hundred years.
Yeah.
So that guy was already building these automata robots. And when you go up to the moon, those robots already exist. But what do you see when you go to the moon? Space pirates. And on the space pirate's hat, it has Vegapunk's head, right? On as an emblem. And that was already there for hundreds of years. Vegapunk is only like 68. So that means somebody with Vegapunk's devil fruit already been to the moon and already had acquired so much knowledge that they were working with these Birkin Moon City people and they built the automata from it. So when you go a little bit further, so that Vegapunk during that time, which is the second world most likely, ended up helping them create Uranus. The shipwrights ended up helping create Pluton, and then obviously the mermaid princess the previous Poseidon was alive during that time too. So it's like,
yo, I never knew that the skull and crossbone of the space pirate had that elongated head.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, so there's a lot there that you have to catch the small details, but and when you look at Anel's hieroglyphics, when he's looking at it with like the little automata, you actually see the mother flame in one of the pictures. Yeah, so they were using it as a power source on the moon.
I mean, it was whatever that they were pulling out from whatever planet they're on. It was whatever power source was that fueled First World.
Yeah.
So it depends because
they didn't have
like
the resources, right? They ran out of resources and things like that. So
they ran out of resources, but they probably didn't run out of the mother flame. And what makes this super interesting is this: during the First World, it said that man touched the mother flame, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the mural, there's no Lunarians at all on the mural. There's only Birkins, Skypians, and also what are the other people?
Shandorians, yeah. 1138.
The Lunarians are not there. So what I think happened was the Lunarians once lived on the Birka Moon City, but they were told to go down to the blue planet because they no longer had resources to support them. So they went to go look for something, right? And what they found on the planet was a flame. And they learned to harness the flame itself, and they created the first mother flame. And if you look at it, Lunarians are what? They could survive any environment, and they also produce flames on their own.
Wait, but is this not a Lunarian that's next to the whale in the mural? Because there's like a being, well, the way this colored is, right?
That's the Elbaf mural. I'm talking about Anel's hieroglyphics.
Oh, okay, got it. I was referencing that. Okay, my fault.
Yeah. So Anel's hieroglyphics shows there's only 3 angel people: the Shandorians, the Birkins, and the Skypians. But it doesn't show Lunarians for some reason. And it's like, why wouldn't they show these guys? on there.
Okay.
Right, because they came afterwards. After
They
discovered the
probably they probably came and then they went to the blue planet to get resources, and then they found the mother flame, and then they created the first mother flame.
All right. Bro's cooking with mother flames over here. I see you. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's listen. This chapter was really. I feel like there's a lot to chew on here. But like, how are we feeling overall in regards to a rating? What are we rating this out of 10, guys?
give it a 7.
I gotta give it like a 6, bro.
I don't blame you for that.
I'm leaning towards a 7. Damn, how'd you get to a 6 though?
I felt like the way we got to this Robin moment, defending the library and being the last stand before O'Hara like fully disappears, we could have got to it a different way. I hated the fact that like Nico, Robin, and Chopper hid in Saul's beard while he's fighting them by himself. I felt like if this was going to happen either way, then you might as well just fight with Saul.
Yes.
Yeah.
To have a better chance at defeating this guy. And like now it's just like it's like wasted manpower.
I mean, at this
she's
point,
by herself with Chopper.
At this point, I think it's like Oda just trying to build like attention because he's trying to play in our face now. Like, who really sitting here believes? I mean, unless Oda is some type of masochist who would actually decide, like, you know what? Maybe I will kill Saul this arc. But no, like, no seasoned One Piece fan is watching this or reading this and like, man, Saul might actually die this time.
No, he's not.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
He's good.
Like,
he'll get back up before the arc's over.
Yeah. So I think this point is just like, let me build the tension. Let me give Robin a reason to be angry, right? Because what has shown is that Robin ain't really gonna fight unless she feels like she absolutely has to, which is why, like, I feel like Wano, the only reason why we got that fight is because Sanji was begging, right? Sanji was like, I need your help, right? We didn't get it all time skip because at no point did Robin feel like she had to fight. Besides, like in Skypiea.
I mean, she's only fighting here to protect the records of O'Hara.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's about Saul.
Well, it's about Saul. It's like a collective, right? You want to build the emotional tension for her instead of it being right away. Now it's like, okay, we might see Robin really like be annoyed and really angry and pissed off, go straight into like demon child mode. Who knows? Maybe she has like a special power where like now instead of her being a demon child, maybe she's healed from her trauma and she's an angel. I don't know.
Either way, I'm loving this opportunity that Robin is getting finally this arc.
Thank God.
For her to grow.
My Shayla.
Again, yeah. You know, I'm ready for the Straw Hats to finally make a move because again, we're getting the B squad of the crew making moves this arc. I'm waiting for Usopp. Let's see what happens there. And
goes head off.
Yeah, but that didn't do anything. I think I'm finally like ready at this point in the arc for the other half of the crew to come back and make their grand entrance. And
I mean, the only people missing is the Monster Trio, bro.
Well, the Monster Trio, Loki, and the other new giant pirates.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of manpower there that can really like turn the tides here. Unless the Gods Knights get back up,
yeah,
adding those people into the mix, it's gonna make short work of this arc.
All right. Well, we got 2 7s and a 6. Larry, we just want to really thank you for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you guys.
You worked a double shift today. You were streaming earlier today. You streaming again tonight. Yo, the Larry tax is real. We appreciate you again, bro. We hope you had a good time. You know, chopping it up with us. Hopefully we can do it again. Hopefully if you guys ever want us on, listen. I don't know what part of Jersey y'all in. Danny can help me figure out Jersey because that's just an enigma to me. That's a new world to me. When you cross Manhattan, I'm like, I don't know what's where.
It's better than Manhattan.
It's better than Manhattan. You got better pizza, better bagels. I'll tell you that.
It's a little
ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
If you guys want to come through, you're more than welcome, bro. We prefer doing in person. More than online because online is hard right now for us because of the studio. We haven't found a way to have people sound good.
I totally
for some reason
because everybody got different equipment and like how it comes through. But if you ever want to make the trip out, bro, I'm totally down.
Listen, super man, whenever y'all want, man, come through, bro.
Let us know, man. We down. We
we'll
down.
Rent the car.
We'll rent a car. The train is right there.
Yeah, you probably take
transit.
It's mad dramatic. We'll rent a car.
I
And
know
we're kind of
Clifton.
close to the transit too.
Yeah, Clifton got NJ Transit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
easy.
Yeah.
But shout out to everybody who came through to the stream. Shout out to everybody who left super chat. Shout out to everybody who became a new member today. Shout out to JR. You are a real one. Shout out to everybody who showed love to that One Piece talk. I know a lot of you guys joined in to see Larry and pay y'all Larry tax and
We
join us on the
appreciate
stream. So we appreciate a lot of you guys for first time viewers. And if you are a first time viewer, hopefully you guys can be a second time viewer. Maybe you won't want to be a third time viewer because you're tired of me and Danny. It is what it is. But shout out to y'all. We really appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe to that One Piece talk. Make sure you guys like the stream. And if you're watching this after the fact, leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts on chapter 1147. Hit that notification bell so you get notified for more content we put out. So thank you again, Larry. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Anything you want to
Really
plug before we close
appreciate it.
out?
Nah, just subscribe to these guys. You know, I would say
theories. You got some theories coming up, man.
Yeah, I do. I gotta flush them out though. I like to come prepared. I read off my phone, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Off dome.
Nah, you're not. You got the BlackBerry on the side with the side broke.
Yeah,
you got
man.
the BlackBerry with the side broke.
Yo, you have no idea how many times people on social media be like, "Yo, he reading off his phone. What is he reading? Somebody else's theories?"
No, bro, you gotta have that shit written down.
I'm like, bro, they somebody gonna find some way to hate.
Listen, man,
they really are, bro.
You ain't got to get ready if you stay ready, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, I love writing it down because one, I sound so much better when I talk, and two, I don't really miss any holes.
Yeah,
because when you be speaking about this, like, there's a lot of things you have to like memorize.
Oh yeah,
and sometimes, bro, 3-hour podcast talking so much,
you lose yourself.
You're gonna either get tired or you're just gonna be fatigued some way somehow, and you're gonna miss something. So.
You go back next stream, you like, I said that. That's how I said that. I could have sworn I said that smarter or better.
And I be editing myself, so I'll be looking at it. I'll be like, "Oh, damn,
bro, we having himself on repeat." He was like, "Oh, I hate myself."
Yeah, man. I'll be like, "Damn, why did I say that? That's crazy."
Listen, bro, being the editor, I know, bro. It is you start being overly critical of everything else you say, and I be telling him, I'm like, I've heard Danny's voice in the streets of New York City without knowing he was behind me because I've had to hear him and Kimmy's voice so much editing. I'm like, I know y'all better than I know yourself. Think I know yourself, bro.
Mm-hmm. Same. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the invite. Anime podcasts need to reunite more often than usual. I feel like once everybody keeps steamrolling with the consistency, we're all gonna be able to build. I don't like to gatekeep. I think that the ocean is big enough for all these ships to sail.
Yeah, man. I mean, we all offer like a different flair, a different version of what we do. None of us are exactly the same, but we are like kind of like, inspired by the same way to do this, right?
Yeah.
For the love of the
keep
game.
Posting, guys. Just keep doing this. Keep grinding. Know that it doesn't come easy. Know that it's a hard genre. And don't just shoot for what these other content creators are doing, like the big One Piece ones that you know about. Shoot for something that's past them.
Yeah,
I would say that, because that's my mindset now. We're shooting for something that's way past everything else.
It's like you're not trying to be the exact same way everybody else is doing. You're just trying to be better in your own way.
Yeah, because this YouTube thing goes quite far. It does. Once you get to a level,
the ceiling is as low as you make it.
You gotta go farther than YouTube.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
You got to think about, like you said, you think about the brands. You think about like how you're gonna work with other things like that. You're always thinking 5 steps ahead. Like, listen, this is the starting point, but like there is a possibility to do something more with this. But like, how bad do you want it? Right?
Work smarter, not harder.
Facts.
Believe me, because top After Dark is crazy, bro. Top After Dark is crazy, bro.
Gotta let them know. Gotta let them know.
Top After Dark is crazy, bro. So,
but, yo, listen, this has been the longest One Piece stream we've done.
The mural one was pretty long too.
Hopefully, Natalie doesn't give you pop out, Danny, when you get off the street. Hopefully, you be no worries. But yeah, thank you again, everybody. Thank you again, Larry. We're gonna sign out here.
Thank you,
everybody. Hope you enjoy your life.
All right, John, everybody. See you later.